Hello, everyone.
We have Tim Allen here today.
And he won't stop coming. Welcome to
Standing here doing the Macarena.
Welcome to episode 74 of Press Any Key. If you enjoy this, like, subscribe, all the thing the algorithms like, leave us a review, share us with your friends. I was going to make that stupid STD
Only you
joke,
can
but
prevent forest fires.
It's true. That's Smokey the Bear, though. That's not...
No, that's part of the terms and
Conditions of
of
what?
YouTube. Express written consent of baseball.
Only you can prevent forest fires on YouTube.
That's true.
I'm just going to Google forest fires on YouTube, and then that's not preventing them.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to do it on our account.
Sure.
Mike's trying to get us canceled.
Yeah, by
Sure.
searching forest fires.
Yeah.
Listen. You ain't getting canceled over that, okay?
It's Morbin time, baby.
Yeah.
more
I'm
than
on
that.
some lists. Like, those aren't the cancelable lists, all right? All right. We're just going to jump right into it because we got a lot to talk about.
Big day.
And only like 2 of everybody has seen everything we're talking about in different capacities. So straight off the bat, we had 2 Marvel trailers drop while we were absent. First one was She-Hulk, and the second one was Thor: Love and Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start. Well, I mean, like, I kind of feel like, you know, one of them is really like full of color and life and establishes the tone and everything, and it's true to the character and it's a true vision of like the director and the writers. And then the other one is She-Hulk.
And then the other one looks like a Snapchat filter.
Yeah, the other one looks like a Snapchat.
Yeah, it really
filter.
does.
So like, dude, I am so fucking sick, and this is the definition of too much content. Like, it's, we have been force fed so much mediocre shit at this point. Like, I don't even want to watch this. But
It feels like when you're sitting after dinner and you're like unbuttoning your pants, and you're just like, I don't feel good.
Yeah, but
like
then
Disney,
they bring out,
please
but they
stop.
bring out like rice pudding or something, and you're like, I don't want to eat that.
You don't like rice pudding?
What, do they bring out pistachio? What, I don't know. What's another non-popular?
I like pistachio.
All right, so
too.
Nick is
how
overindulging
about
himself on She-Hulk.
one of those fucking like cookie, like brownie cakes with ice cream
No,
on it, and
that's
it comes out with 6 forks for everybody.
That's the
and
best.
chocolate
That's-
syrup.
No.
fine.
They bring out an ambrosia salad.
Okay, all right, fair enough. One of those old like Jello salads.
Yeah, that has potato
Yeah,
and shit in
yeah.
it or whatever. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
America was great.
Make America great again. I want Jello salad.
Yeah.
That's what all those people wanted, right?
I don't want to
That's
chew.
what the hats-
I just want to gnash with my gums when I eat.
That's what you get when you have all the housewives on Quaaludes for 70 years. They're just like, I don't know, chicken, like mayonnaise, potato chips, fuck Jello. Here we go.
Something to feed the beast.
And then they raised us, those children.
And now we're the problem. Anyway, oh my god,
She-Hulk is the problem.
She-Hulk is the problem. So yeah, everyone's complaining about the CGI. They have since put out images that show you that like the CGI really doesn't look that bad. This is just for the
They
trailer.
updated it too.
Yeah.
Like,
in the trailer.
They patched the trailer.
They literally did what they did with Sonic, where like everybody had a huge backlash and being like, "This looks like ass," and apparently it's updated a little bit.
She's also normally bigger.
She's massive.
Yeah, like she's the Hulk's cousin, which like in the comics it's a blood transfusion to save her life from Bruce Banner to her. But this one it looks like she wants to be a superhero.
Maybe.
I guess.
Oh,
in the
do we
trailer.
get? We're gonna. I'm assuming we're
She's
gonna
wearing some helmet thing.
get. Right, we're
and,
gonna get like an origin-y thing from her.
Yeah, for sure. But then
Did you send me the thing? I saw. It was a Reddit post. Somebody saying that they worked in the production house.
oh,
on
I
the
know
show.
that's what I was about
And
to
they're-
bring up.
Yeah, and they basically said we had her bigger, but from the higher ups they're like smaller, make her smaller. She, like basically just
No.
make her hotter, not bulky.
The
like-
entire internet community loves big,
Yeah.
tall, massive, dommy mommy ladies. That's
That's what- if there's
did
anything
they
we've
miss-
learned.
Did they miss the Resident Evil 7
Yeah, like, what
discourse?
the fuck?
I like you couldn't have like every single my sister knew about that shit going on.
Step
like,
on me, like
Yeah.
it was all there, dude. Every like there was also that one thing I sent you where she carries him off the couch. It's like, Marvel, I've already seen how this ended. There is an actual She-Hulk porno.
It's horrible.
where
Sure.
a giant lady picks up a guy off the couch and sucks his dick all the way to the bed.
It is horrible.
It
He
is-
is a scrawny, skinny
Oh, that
looking,
sounds
long
sick.
haired guy.
What's the
He's a
link
twink.
to how?
He is.
That sounds terrible.
What's the? I don't know. Where can I avoid this? Like what website?
Where is it so I know to watch out for it?
Exactly. That's what the trailer was.
If you're on Twitter, I fill his inbox with all this
I
horrible.
don't need that.
No, you
Decrepit
do. You
shit.
do.
Bad enough that I downloaded TikTok.
But yeah,
Oh.
I mean, either way though, I mean, not even like this. I'm just done with these shows. Moon Knight was a wet fart. I didn't even watch Hawkeye. Like I said, this is just to keep people on the platform. But I don't think Disney realized that, like, you know, you have a whole back catalog for this. You know what I mean? And this is going to be another one of those fucking things where it's like 6 episodes. It's a limited series. It's what, you know, it's just fucking boring. I'm
think
done with
there's-
it at this point.
I wouldn't have gotten Disney Plus if it wasn't for all the new content. For sure, I wouldn't have gotten it just for back catalog of Disney movies. So I disagree with you there. But the other thing, too, is I think they're really running out of bandwidth in the theaters because it's like they have such big ambitions for the Marvel stuff. They need to like start putting some stuff on TV. Do I think they're doing it well? No. It's been a lot of misses, not a lot of hits.
I'm with you on it being like a content overload. I agree with you on the fact it's like
I'm not
no.
disagreeing with that
But like
either.
the point where you're like Disney Plus for the people kind of like in our demographic, absolutely is for all of the new content. Like we're not going back and we're not watching like, you know, Pixar movies or things
Fox
like
and
that.
the Hound and shit like that.
Right, like if we want to, we have all the Disney VHSs in our parents' basement. Don't gotta go anywhere else for that. But it's just
Put
like
it in my VHS player.
I got it in my VHS player. But I think it's like the biggest problem that I have with it is you're putting out a lot of content with non-substantial impact. That it's like you are not taking these characters, and it's like I don't think I'm going to see She-Hulk in a large role in another movie, or I'm not going to see like Moon Knight in a large role in a massive Marvel movie.
Do we know that? Because I mean, like WandaVision did play a huge factor in Multiverse of Madness.
But
Wanda
happened
started
after.
in. Yeah, Wanda was in the movies beforehand.
Right, but what I'm saying is, it's like it is what's the compulsory content. If you want to keep up, you have to see WandaVision.
Right,
Because to see her where we left her before the show and where she is in Multiverse of Madness, you'd be like, what is happening? I don't understand what happened to her.
I think with WandaVision, like, the Multiverse of Madness is a direct response to the popularity of WandaVision. Like, we would not have had that same movie.
Do you think so?
I don't think so at all.
I think that movie-
Really?
I think they were going full steam ahead on that regardless.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it
What
would
do
have been.
you? What's the alternative?
I don't know what the alternative would have been, but for a fact, it has to be that. Because WandaVision was massive. They were like, we need to keep not we need to keep Wanda going, but like, look how much we can leverage this individual. I don't think it would have been the exact same thing.
I could, now that you say it, I could see another villain, because it doesn't necessarily need to be Wanda. You really could
No, it
have
does
it be
need to be
anybody.
Wanda because Wanda ends up being a villain, and their whole thing, like I said, Marvel borrows and steals from
their
the
properties
comics
back.
to get they do. This MCU movie was called Multiverse of Madness, but it was the Illuminati and House of M for the MCU.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what it was, where Wanda literally slaughters all the X-Men, except they don't have all the X-Men, so they got to.
But
They got to bring in a
I know,
bunch.
I know
and
you guys
slaughter
already had
them.
that conversation, but that scene was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It could have straight up been like Doctor Strange and the Scarlet Witch, something, whatever else. Like Multiverse of Madness is a non-applicable title to me, as far as I'm concerned. It was a Wanda movie with Doctor Strange fighting her.
Not to derail this whole conversation, because
We're already derailed, but
But do you think that was just to kind of throw us off the trail of what the movie actually was, or was it just because it wasn't really a multiverse movie at the end of the day? That was a small part of the whole
what I'm saying.
story.
I don't know. I don't think it was like a red herring. I think genuinely, because I mean, they cut out like a half hour or 40 minutes of that movie?
They cut out like 40 minutes of it, and like some confirmed cameos that didn't make it in that were filmed but
An
cut.
Iron Man cameo.
I don't think that ended up being true.
That's
really?
a shame.
Deadpool post-credit scene was cut. Michael Fassbender's Magneto was cut. And Ghost Rider was actually filmed fighting Wanda, and they cut him too.
So, I mean,
Nick
I don't
Cage.
know, but
What?
Nick
Nick Cage.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was never confirmed. They could have.
I would like
had
to
him on
see
fire
if
the
there's
entire
40
time.
minutes of footage left. I would like to see
I'd
how
love to see
different
that.
it makes the movie. But getting back to what we were saying though, I definitely think these TV shows, like, they're really trying to expand their footprint for newer heroes, since we're kind of sunsetting a lot of the older ones, and it is becoming a content overload.
TV shows can lick my balls at this point.
Right.
I'm so
Like, well, here's the thing. It's like, here's the thing. Like, too, like back to my point on where I feel like they're like elevating non-substantial or characters non-substantially. Like the Iron Mans and the Captain Americas, we had dedicated movie properties to them, and they were built up, very like strong, organically and strongly. And I understand you can't just make 50 Marvel movies and put them out for every you can't put $200 million into every Marvel movie and do a She-Hulk in theaters release, But it's like, then I don't care. Don't make
But
it.
also, nobody said that was possible about Iron Man or Captain America when they started.
Well,
now they're arguably the biggest superheroes on the
But
planet.
I think the thing is, they were doing one thing.
Yeah.
This one movie, whereas now, if you had every single hero that they want to bring into the MCU have their own movie, that'd be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 movies per year.
Keep giving them.
And it just
mainline it.
But it waters down that
the
pool.
box office,
right, but also think about how. First of all, as far as the conversation around the box office is concerned, like, listen, you want to make money, make better fucking movies. How about that?
Make a Top Gun.
Make a Top Gun.
Make Eternals again. That movie was great.
And the other thing is, the perception of what it's doing to the audience, I feel, is more detrimental. Like this, there's a guy on Twitter. I don't know him personally or anything like that. Like, he could be a fine person. However, he has the worst takes when it comes to cinema surrounding superhero movies. He wants, and this is a real tweet he put out, he wanted Spider-Man No Way Home to come out with a audio track of the audience being surprised, or like all the screams and yells that you could put on like a director's commentary while you're watching the movie at home.
Buddy, that's
and
for
I was
Twitter.
just
Like-
and
Like the trailer for fucking.
immediately when he said that, I was like, Martin Scorsese was right. That's exactly where I was at. I was like,
Paranormal Activity trailers. Like, look at these audiences.
Yeah.
exactly. And it was just
Exactly.
like, it's like, I feel like that, with having 4 Marvel movies come out a year, that's more detrimental. Like, the audience perception of what a theatrical experience is supposed to be.
So you're not disagreeing with us. You also think that too many movies is a problem.
No, as far as box office is
Yeah,
concerned,
box office, I don't think
I
you
don't give a
take
shit
that
about
out.
that.
Yeah.
Like that.
I'm not saying you should, but they do.
Like, DC could put out 6 fucking movies a year. If they make no goddamn money, make better movies.
They,
You know what I
they
mean?
do
Like,
make money.
I know. Well,
Why do they keep making money?
Well, that's the problem. Everything now will make money.
People are so.
Can't wait to see how bad this piece of shit is.
Really?
Literally,
Well,
Morbius made how much money?
This is our job, right? It's our job to see.
this is
We
our
don't get
job.
paid for it, but it's our job to see everything. But I read through those Morbius reviews. The people liked it. So, a lot of people liked that movie.
Morbin time.
People like vampires. That's literally like that
People like
carried.
Jared Leto.
People like Jared Leto and vampires that carried 80% of the positive.
Anyway,
He's right here.
Okay. Well, either way though, this looks like hot garbage. I'm not into the tone of the show at all. If we skip this one entirely, I would.
I'm gonna watch it because
We have
I
to.
gotta watch it. I hope she just gets bigger every episode. And
They
don't
ease us
say
into
anything.
it. Like, they're like, all right, well, we fucked up in the first place, but we'll get her
It's like
bigger.
every in the intro, they just
don't-
have her by like a ruler, and it's like you just see her getting a little taller each episode.
you know those videos on YouTube that it's like a song, but every time they say this word, it speeds up.
It's 10%
I
faster.
want that to the point where it's just like exponential growth.
Every
screen
time
is
they say
just
She-Hulk, she
green.
just gets bigger. Yeah.
like the opening credits for Invincible. It just got
Yeah.
bloodier.
Yeah.
All right.
Can't wait for that to come back.
Speaking of shit, I can't wait for Thor: Love and Thunder. This
Yeah.
movie looks fucking. I'm not like super hot on Ragnarok. I think it's good and fun, but I also think it's ultimately inconsequential to the rest of the MCU. Whatever.
I kind of like that about it, though.
It's got
compact.
that. It's got that like Galaxy Guardians vibe kind
It's
of
like Masters of the Universe.
You just like it. Like
It's-
it's fun and it's good.
This one though looks way better than Thor Ragnarok. And I think Christian Bale looks fucking sick. I think he looks great. I think that
We gotta have this out. Once and for all.
I think that if you're focused on the way he looks as opposed to his performance,
You haven't seen his performance yet. You just saw his.
I know Christian Bale. He's a great actor.
Dude, Christian Bale has never given a bad performance. Ever, ever, ever.
Well, I just want to put this out there. So let it be known. The record will show that Pat. I'm going to quote you on this one. You said you have Christian Bale in a movie, you don't cover his face up. And to me, I think he's such a good actor that to worry about his face is the dumbest thing. His design in the comic books looks so cool and alien and unique, and now he's just a dude. To me, I'm not upset about it, but I think it just doesn't make any sense to me.
That's like with this it's the same kind of thing. I know we just were like She-Hulk is gonna be horrible and we don't know a single thing about it.
Yeah.
I'm happy about this. There's established like precedent with it.
Here's my rebuttal, because that's not a hot take. A lot of people feel that way. 90% of the motherfuckers who saw Gore in the trailer did not know who Gore the God Butcher was before this trailer. And the other thing is that
like him enough.
Why do you think? No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
You don't think that's Christian Bale? If you saw that,
that's Christian Bale.
Like
Gore.
No, I'm talking about that. But
really
with the
like
covering
Gore.
his face, yeah.
But the other thing that's important to remember
He
is
looks like a cancer patient.
Yeah, he looks
his
like
design.
cancer
why
Voldemort.
is it in every single Iron Man movie? At Civil War, the Avengers, you name it. Anytime there is a dialogue scene, their helmets come off. Why do you think that is?
They gotta talk.
Get those pearly whites in there.
It's because the emotion registers from your face.
Think about
it's all in the eyes. Remember, everyone's always like, put the white irises on Batman. No. You want the eyes because it's all in the fucking eyes.
What about Groot? What about Rocket Raccoon? What about Hulk? Like those,
what about them?
They're all digitally enhanced.
They all have eyes, though.
Yeah, okay. So they could do that.
Groot has eyes.
They could do that with Gore, but just have him have like the long tentacly things coming off the back of his head.
The other thing that's important,
I want a sexy alien man.
Is that the reason why I feel like they've kept it? Because like Gore has a really rich backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has a super, super rich origin, right?
And he's got some gabagoo.
So what I really want to stress is that like when you have an actor like Christian Bale and he's going to give this really powerful emotion-filled performance, why would you want to cover that up in CGI?
The pure rebuttal I have is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Shut up.
Davy Jones.
Davy Jones is a great example.
One of the best looking CGI individuals ever, I'm going to say, and then like for its time, way ahead of it. His facial expressions, everything with that. The man was a fucking squid, and we got all of it out. So they could do something to that effect.
Do you think there's a Davy Jones porn?
Absolutely.
With all those tentacles.
Look at my eyes. I was thinking the same thing.
There's a very infamous Pirates of the Caribbean porn.
Does it have Davy Jones?
It's actually the most expensive porn ever created. It's called Pirates 2 Something's Revenge, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Something with an S.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but they had a making of on HBO one time when it came out and I watched it.
It's a meme at this point because
there's lots of sword fight. It was made for like $50 million. There's lots of sword fights and then like someone will get knocked onto like a bag of sand or gunpowder and be like, "Oh, I can't get up unless I'm fucked." And then there you have it.
And Jerry Bruckheimer was actually involved in the production.
Guys. Jesus.
I gotta put food on this fucking table, okay? I'm paying Johnny Depp $56 million to be in one of these fucking movies.
He just makes a cameo.
Yeah. It's all right. All right, yeah, but I'm looking forward to Thor. I like the color palette.
Oh, yeah.
I think that looks good. I think Jane Foster looks good. I think the reason that they're not showing us her in human form is because she's going to transform back and she's going to be horribly like strict with cancer.
Right.
Like
she's going to look like Gore.
Yeah, she's going to look like Gore.
That's the leaks we've seen, actually.
It's actually Natalie Portman.
They definitely put Zeus and Olympus in this movie for Gore to murder because later on you see Valkyrie with Olympus. Like you can't have Gore the God Butcher show up and not
without
murder
butcher
some
a
gods.
god.
Yeah, like come on, that's his claim to fame. You know, either the goats that pull the boat, the magical goats. I'm here for it. I like all this shit.
I'm deep into like Nordic
Yeah.
goats and shit. You know.
Norse mythology is
Yeah.
my shit, all right? Goat boats, rainbow bridges. Did you guys not watch the trailer? There's goat boats.
I don't remember the.
I'm enjoying.
Actually, can you just not that we have to cut to it, but
Yeah.
just pull
I
it.
don't know. I'm just enjoying the it's like
Framing
not,
of it?
not talking about like anything about like any other character besides Gore, and he's like the goat boats are what's gonna drive me to this movie.
I like how they censored out his ass.
When did they censor his ass?
When he's naked. Do you remember that part where he's naked?
I must have blacked out.
Popcorn now. Let me
It's
tell
the
you the story
popcorn,
of the space Viking, Thor Odinson.
Space Viking.
He was a god. After saving planet Earth for the 500th
See, goat boats.
I didn't see the goats.
I didn't. See
There
a
they
single-
were.
Go back. Go back.
went from dead bodies
Show me them goats.
Oh, right there.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
off on a new
Here's my fucking
Oh, okay.
goats. And
There you go.
they tug his boat.
Let me add that goat. Tug my boat.
My boat.
I think
this looks like a lot of fun, and it looks like what a comic book movie should be.
that's literally. I was about to say. I was like, I really like the combination of Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor.
Yeah.
Like they work really well. They play off each other really well, and you get like a lot of the asynchronous.
How do you guys feel about this mask?
Jane?
Sounds like
It's cool.
Scooby-Doo.
It's fine.
the old ex-girlfriend.
The old
Ex-girlfriend.
Oh, what? There she is without the.
Nah, dude,
Well,
she's
she's
still
still
she's still all
there.
look, she's thored out.
Oh, right. She's got the helmet off.
See, the goats are pulling that boat.
I how did I watch this several times and not notice it? But that's the
It's
only
like
thing that really
good that
registered
Pat
with you.
just really was like, hey, they got some fucking goats. You know what I'm gonna watch? Ooh. He's very Voldemorty.
He's
Like,
very Voldemort.
very Voldemorty.
Goats! Did you see the goats?
see the goats.
Rainbow. There you
There
go.
they
you go.
are. Yo, all of her action sequences are gonna be fucking dope, and his are just gonna be okay.
You know what sucks? I would love them to make a God of War video game like this.
Yeah,
Like
fun.
well, as in like
I mean,
just
not to say
fucking
that God of War is
Marvel,
not fun, but
Marvel,
lighthearted.
no, but to the effect.
Tell me
to
about the
fact-
God of War game. That's in Norse mythology.
No.
That isn't
I
fun.
want to play as Thor. I'm not saying not
Oh, I
as
see
fun.
what you're
want
saying.
I want Marvel to be like, here's an actual good video game.
That would be cool.
That's what I do
I don't,
miss,
I don't want to
though.
harp on the. Oh,
He looks
that's
like-
still. He's taking a really big poop.
One, he looks like Gollum in this shot. Two, when she keeps sucking. Like that's the face.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Oh, they holding hands.
I just like to me, and I don't want to keep harping on it, but I think the design. It's why is every villain like humanoid? I would love to get like a non-humanoid villain.
Like a like Eldritch Beast villain kind of.
Have you watched?
Just went over my head.
Have you watched the 2011 Green Lantern?
No,
You watch that and then come back with that criticism of
is that the one where it's just a cloud of smoke?
more or less.
Yeah,
No,
no,
that's
that's not what.
Lost,
That's
is what
not.
you're talking
That's not what.
about.
That's
He's
not
a
what I'm
polar
asking for. But I,
No, that's Revenant. What you're talking about.
It's
My
a
favorite
grizzly
comic
bear.
let's
Something
move on.
baby.
I don't know. We really
All right.
didn't have anything
Yeah.
to say about it other than
Listen,
it looks
I
good.
Think it looks good. I like it. It's,
Check it out if you haven't seen the
and
trailer.
it's not coming out. It's coming out very
June
soon.
22nd.
Oh.
Or
June.
right?
No.
I
Really?
think it's July
July.
July.
7th.
Oh, did it get pushed back?
No.
Are you sure?
No, you're just wrong. You can
8th.
just
July
take the
8th.
L. Just
July
take the
8th.
L.
Trust me, you're not that
Yeah,
guy,
you-
buddy. You're not that guy.
You're not that guy, buddy. You're not that guy. Fuck that guy. Anyway, Newark, New Jersey, everyone.
Newark.
Newark, New Jersey.
In Newark.
You're not gonna tell me how to say the name of the place that's only 20 minutes from me.
That's fair enough.
You can bastardize however you want to say whatever word.
What? Dude. I don't know who the fuck you Southerners
I
think
know.
you are coming up to
Southerners.
Central
This is
Jersey.
the war of northern aggression.
I am
it.
I live in
fine
much more
words, Pat.
central Jersey than you do. If you like fold New Jersey in half, that's where I'm from.
Okay, it's Rahway,
Rahway.
Newark.
Rahway and
Yeah,
Newark.
all right. We talked about the
Yeah,
raw
we
way
did.
thing the other day.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, if you actually spell it out,
Newark.
raw way, Newark.
Newark. So in Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah, we're gonna say
Newark.
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 Knock. Anyway, yeah. So Newark.
So, Newark, New Jersey is getting a big investment from Hollywood, specifically from Lionsgate, is confirmed to be opening up a new property there. 6 sound stages, lots and lots of. I guess it's not really like storage, but like shipping or like
It's gonna be like the Indiana Jones with all the crates. right?
yeah. Area 51, pretty much.
That's where they keep
But-
Harvey Weinstein.
So interesting is that although
Bind it.
Lionsgate is going to own it, the New Jersey Performing Arts Center is partnering with them, and they're going to manage public affairs and community relations for the studio to create educational programs for internships that are designed for high schoolers and college students. Where the fuck was this when we were in college?
I
yeah,
know.
I guess we got to go back.
Well, it says that they're building a 3-show campus so they can concurrently have 3 giant series happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Employing, up to 1,000 people basically a day. So it's a huge,
There's a three
revitalizing the area.
300,000 square foot complex will include multiple production stages ranging from 20,000 to 30,000 square feet. Additional components will include back of house offices and administrative spaces, a parking facility for 400 cars and 65 trucks, on-set production services including G&E, Grip and Electric, equipment, props, set building, restaurants, location catering, a cleaning service, and security. It's anticipated the new studio will create 600 long-term employment opportunities and generate $800 million per year for the state.
Well, damn.
I know. It's actually got a really cool, how that might affect, Newark in the outstanding area from, obviously, a gentrification perspective, but it could build up a lot of the area around it where they're just going to start tearing shit down and building, housing if you're going to house, another 1,000+
But
people.
how many fucking times are you going to do that? You know what I mean?
There hasn't been something to this. I mean, there's been a couple things, but this is you're bringing a dedicated industry like that in that way.
Do you think is this like a big move from New Jersey in general to
Well,
bring in entertainment? 'Cause
Originally, we had the entertainment tax break, and they used to shoot all types of shit here. Then Jersey Shore happened when Christie was in office, and Christie was like, "Let's
And it
get rid
ruined
of that because
everything.
we want to get rid of MTV."
Right.
And all it did was just kill the market here. It did because MTV doesn't really care.
No one gives a shit, yeah.
Exactly.
Chris Christie probably says Newark too.
Well, that's why they did Jersey Shore, Miami.
Except he probably says no.
Can't get out of the chair.
Who do you think was in that Danish? He's large this way, not this way.
But Eatontown potentially, it's still, I don't think it's secured, but Eatontown will very likely have a Netflix campus within the next few years.
Oh shit!
So I mean,
Cool.
It's New Jersey's coming back.
New Jersey's
stronger
back,
than the
baby.
storm.
Took us 10 years, but we're
Restore
back.
the shore.
The other thing is that they used to film that show.
The Sopranos.
Yes, they used to film The Sopranos all over the state. But I'm trying to think of
Good Will Hunting, the series,
The animated series.
only ran for one season.
Didn't do good.
God, what's that fucking show? Gotham. They used to film that in Jersey, but then when that tax hit, they were like, "Let's go over to New York." But it's really just Staten Island. And my aunt used to work at the building where they filmed that show, so they changed all the gates and everything to these gothic Arkham. It said Arkham Asylum when she drove into work and shit.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so she would be working on set. A couple days they're like, "We need extras." They're like, "Let me call my nephew." I'm like, "I'm working. I wish, but not for a day rate. Goodbye." But I hope it comes back. I hope there's more job opportunities because I would fucking kill to work in
I just think
entertainment.
it's super cool that it is something that is this close to New York.
Yeah.
To be able to expand that out and then just reinvigorate a huge area.
I mean, look at Atlanta. Marvel built a studio in Atlanta, and now
Atlanta.
they make all those movies down there now, including I think Lucasfilm too. Actually,
I don't know.
Really? Didn't know that.
they definitely
There's a shit ton
Disney
the
owns it,
Made
so-
in Georgia,
yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Walking
and
Dead has been down there for
Tyler Perry.
25 years.
Tyler Perry opened up the largest film studio ever outside of Atlanta too.
Really?
Yeah. So like they have a big film scene. I hope they start opening up more and more up here.
Look at all those Medea films.
You know, and they want to they want to get out of California because it sucks.
Well, it's on fire, and
It's on fire. The taxes are ridiculously high.
and also, I mean, from Newark to New York is a 25-minute train ride.
Not
Like,
less.
less.
Well, that's I don't even know how much of a factor that's going to be. I could totally see people wanting to get out of New York and live in the suburbs around
That's
Newark.
what I'm saying.
you
Like,
don't even have to worry.
Please, no more. They
No.
drove up the home prices.
It's
so
bound-
much.
it's bound to
Fuck those
happen,
guys.
guys.
it's gonna happen. It's like it's yeah.
It already did happen.
It's gonna happen.
No,
like
it's gonna
I'm saying,
continue.
this will bring like a significant chunk of people who are like, I'm not gonna live in Brooklyn. I'm going to live like outside of
in
New
New
York.
Jersey.
Yeah,
Fuck those people. Get out.
stay out.
Dude,
The war of
it's-
Eastern aggression.
it's Benny season.
Yeah,
What is it? It's Brooklyn, Elizabeth,
Elizabeth,
New York,
New York.
Newark, New York.
Yonkers.
That's what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yonkers.
Yeah, I don't know
Yonkers?
if Yonkers is part of it.
I
Benny.
dated some bimbo once that was
What's
like
the Y?
New York.
Brooklyn, Elizabeth,
Oh.
New York, New Jersey. So I was like, what do you mean New Jersey? I live here. I'm allowed to go to the fucking Jersey Shore.
You know, Central Jersey, Jersey Shore people. you guys are northern aggressors.
No one is allowed to be on the beach.
Get the fuck
I
out of
mean,
here.
I lived a block away from the Asbury Park Beach, and boy, let me tell you how quick I got angry at everybody when I couldn't find parking within like a
5
mile
blocks, yeah.
radius of my house. I was like, "Fuck all of you."
I can't wait for local summer with the last 3 weeks where it's nice enough and nobody's here.
Yeah, let's pay all that money for 3 weeks. Like, Mickey Mouse, are you here? Are you at the Jersey Shore?
Yeah.
So it's cool. When is it going to open? Do they plan? Did say any plan release or
When Convention Hall finally falls into the ocean.
Oh, so
That's-
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah,
Really soon.
set to open late 2024. That's what it actually is. That's the real
Yeah.
fact.
I don't know exactly when I
No, I'm telling you, it says there.
okay.
Late
All right,
2024.
cool. I thought you were riffing on what
Mike
I
was
saying,
making a
but-
prediction.
No, convention.
Sources say late 2024.
The tea leaves read. No, Convention Hall is essentially already shut down.
I went to a show there in 2010, and it was a creaky old building then.
No, I don't like every.
They're still doing shows there.
Yeah, but every
it's not
every
safe,
time they
though.
keep bringing back to how far you can go on the
On the floor?
on the the sides where they have the bar out there.
Oh, yeah.
They just keep cutting that in because it's just crumbling and crumbling. So who knows? The Earth will take it back soon. Stronger than the storm.
Speaking of which, little tangent here on my flight. I finally watched Kingsman,
Oh,
Which one?
the first one.
Okay, what'd you think?
I thought it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Sam Jackson was great, but his whole character was so over the top. It was great.
The lady that's the movie with the lady who has the blades for the feet, right?
Yes,
Fun idea.
that's Tom,
Horrible
you mean
weapon.
Tom Cruise's mummy.
Oh, that's Sophia Boutiti, right?
Maybe
Or
yeah.
Patella?
know,
However you
yeah.
say it. I don't know. She wasn't
Bladefoot
great.
lady.
Yeah, Bladefoot lady is good.
What I thought was the weirdest was that the
The anal scene?
anal scene.
It just kind of came
It
out of
came
nowhere.
out of nowhere.
usually does.
Anal usually comes out of nowhere.
Well, hold on. Oh, because what I remember, we watched that movie when we were recording, and so we were tired after a long day in the studios, like in 2015 or 16 or whatever, right? And I remember we put on that movie, and she says to him, like, if you rescue me, I'll let
you do. I'll give you more than a kiss.
Yeah. But then I remember he goes back, and like it was like one of the most graphic sex scenes I've ever seen in my life.
So
right?
they definitely showed me an edited version on the plane because there's like a close up on her ass, and then what's it called? Like
the star wipe.
it basically does a star wipe on her ass, and like it came up, and I was like worried that I was like, am I gonna have to turn this off?
Yeah, I think there is an edited there is an
wipe.
edited version of that movie because the version I saw, I remember being like, holy shit, like this is basically a porno. That's Matthew Vaughn though.
Hey,
He makes good movies.
he
I
did
don't
the
know
Pirates
why
of the
they
Caribbean one.
have movies that have scenes like that available to you to watch on planes. That's a
Yeah,
recipe for
right?
disaster. There was one time I was on a plane and there was a guy diagonally in front of me, but he had his own iPad and he was
no.
watching that episode of Black Mirror where they're in the video game fucking each
yeah.
other.
Oh,
And I
no.
was like,
Yeah, that is
"Boy,
a
you are in for a surprise.
that is like 30 minutes of just like
Yeah. Yeah.
spinning camera, like animated sex.
Yeah.
I gotta watch Black Mirror. It seems.
Well, that was like when Game of Thrones, was like out and like super popular. I remember being on a flight and like people having it on their laptops, and I was like, "Whew, okay, like you got
Good
a
luck with
kid
that.
next to you, like this is where you came
The
from."
best day
honey.
of that kid's life.
The last time I was on a plane, I opened up my laptop and I started watching Avengers: Infinity War, and I was probably like 30 minutes into
You
it.
realized it was the porn parody.
And I realized the
I
men
kept going.
and I realized the women weren't coming. No, I finished it anyway. The guy next to me opens up his fucking like tablet or whatever, starts watching Avengers: Infinity War, and then says, "Hey, can you turn your screen so you don't spoil anything?" I was like,
Excuse me.
"What?" Well, I just pretend I didn't hear him. I just whatever and just kept watching the movie. I was just like, "Dude, fuck
The
this
balls.
guy!" Like,
Oh, you know what? I want to watch that. Hold on.
yeah, exactly.
Do you mind? Like,
On the flight back, I had Dune, and the somebody.
You watched Dune on a plane,
Yeah,
and no wonder you didn't like it.
I saw Dune
he's not in the theater too.
theater, and
right?
I love Dune.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you said it was kind of boring.
What? No.
No,
right?
I
Didn't
think
you
we
say
liked. I
fuck?
think we liked Dune.
I
Who
gave
am I
that
thinking
movie a
of?
10 out of 10.
10
Okay,
out of
never
10.
mind. I forget. Somebody
God,
told me they
Meg.
thought it was boring.
But
I told you, I'm
I watched
sleepy.
Dune on this laptop on a flight on the way back from Orlando last time, and the lady next to me was, she too was watching it on my laptop, except she leaned over, like spilling into my seat, and was like,
Can you put on subtitles?
"It's like, hey, there's a fucking pandemic right now. Can you not breathe in my fucking nose? Thanks."
I'm just trying to watch that Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah. All right, I don't want to keep going on about horrible plane rides because
I got one more for you. I got one more for you.
Is it when you thought Portland was only an hour and a half?
You fuck. You fuck. No, this was on the way to Napa this week. I forgot to bring headphones, so I got it was like a
United?
big plane, so I got the United headphones.
They have
And
the
boy, are
double
they crap.
Yeah,
The audio was terrible, and I was like,
they're $5.
I've
Nick.
never seen No Country for Old Men. Let me watch that. And that is a quiet movie, plus the audio quality is really bad. So I'm like, I have no clue what anybody is saying. It was all mumbled. So I stopped 20 minutes in.
United headphones.
Cool.
Are those United?
Oh, that's
These
them.
are straight up United headphones.
Oh,
Yeah.
those are better quality than the ones that I got.
Really?
Yeah. They were like, the earpiece was like double the size. It was like I had the big chunky back.
Oh, you got on the poor flight,
I had,
didn't you? No.
I had a
Thanks-
what's
thanks.
it called?
Mike,
Thanks,
makes me
Obama.
feel real good.
I had. We're gonna move on after this. I had
Oh, mister, I don't want to talk about the plane anymore.
I had the middle seat, right, on a flight, and the reason I picked the middle seat was because there was 2 seats that were bought.
Mm.
When I get to my row, there's a woman and a child, and the child is sitting in my seat. Now, obviously, I'm gonna say, "Hey,
You're my
I'd like,
seat.
yeah." And this bitch,
You know what she does? You know what she
the
says to me?
adult, she looks at me and she goes, "Oh,
kid.
I didn't realize I bought the seats apart. So is it okay if she sits next to me?" And I said, "Yeah, that's fine. However, I want the aisle."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, well, I go, no. I go, "You don't get to change my seat."
like, we're making
And
a concession
yeah,
here.
like, I don't like sitting by the window.
I didn't buy
I
a window
did, like
ticket.
when they tilt that fucking plane and like I'm like sideways, like no thanks, it ain't for me. Like I am not a fan of that. I was like, so I hate the middle, but I'll sit in the middle, but I prefer the aisle.
spite.
Yeah. So I was like, so either like you guys go back to your regular seats, or I'm taking the aisle. And she like went and got the fucking stewardess and everything.
You're in the wrong already, lady. Like, you're gonna lose.
And
this
they were
fight.
just like, well, his name's on the ticket, so he can have like it's his seat. So like, either you guys work it out
You
yourselves.
play ball or you're out of luck.
Or, and I was like, well, I don't want this kid reaching over me and everything. And she's like, well, what if she has to go to the bathroom? I was like, my legs work. I don't mind stretching them to get up and you guys can go to the bathroom. It's not a big deal. Either way, though, I fucking won that argument. However,
Where'd you wind up?
I wound up in the aisle, yet the kid was still in the middle and she was at the window.
Yeah, she wasn't gonna sit next to you after that.
Yeah, exactly. So like every single time I would like when I opened up my laptop or something, it was, "What's that?" And,
Lower your voice.
yeah.
That's the Avengers porn parody.
Yeah, you see this right here.
Oh god.
The Hulk has a
I
really,
stopped.
the
I
Hulk has a
literally-
really big dick.
Let me.
You guys are,
You won't like him when he's angry.
it's not a cucumber. Anyway,
All right, Jess, what's your flight story?
What do you mean?
You got a bad flight story, right? This is the show now. We're just talking about airplanes.
As if we don't have like 50,000 things to talk
What's the deal with airplane food? Am I right?
I mean, I actually don't really have a bad flight story. Everything well, first of all, I don't go on that many flights. And
you're gonna have a horrible flight after.
yeah,
this.
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you guys totally fucking jinxed me now
Yeah.
for tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.
Well, maybe if you help us
Bye.
clean up, there'll be
Yeah,
some.
like-
good-
Yeah,
No,
I
I
think the
can't.
flight will be
No,
great.
no, I don't have time. Gotta go. Gotta pack.
Earn a little
Gotta-
good karma here.
No.
Before we dive into Star Wars news, you guys want to talk about Stranger Things real quick?
Real
wanna
quick.
talk about it
what
later.
the fuck? Just because
Oh,
you didn't
shut up.
It's a
Yeah.
main topic, bro.
Okay.
wanna talk
haven't-
about
I have
stills from
literally-
Star Wars?
I have literally never watched Stranger Things in my life.
It's good thing,
not your
it's
fault.
good thing you got
Okay.
co-hosts on here.
So you guys talk
Not
about
my
Stranger Things.
problem.
I'm
Give
gonna go
us-
take a piss.
give us-
and,
yeah.
and then we're gonna do Star Wars Celebration because we still have Obi-Wan Kenobi, Top Gun Maverick, and the greatest clip of the week that's ever been on this
All
show.
right.
I'll be the judge of that.
All right, let's go. Welcome to Press Any
Sounds like a
Key
lot of
here. Pat is
crying.
taking a minute.
Yeah,
we are
Jess-
taking
Jess,
over
can we
the
get
show.
the intro again?
No, please don't.
No, I wouldn't do that. Mike, did you see it?
I did. So I saw the first episode, and then I started watching the second one a little bit, and I was way too tired because it was like at 1 a.m. at this point. And I also was like, how the first one ended, I was like, this is a little bit dark. It's like I need a little bit of eye bleach, and I was hoping like episode 2 would be a little bit less that way, but
They started off real strong. I think
Yeah.
I'm very excited for this season.
yeah.
Yeah, me too.
You want to start? You want to start with your take, Jess?
Well, I actually didn't think that the first episode was that like dark. I don't know. I mean, just compared to what like previous
we've seen.
seasons. But I really did like it. I liked it a lot. I dug out my old T-shirt
yeah.
because I liked it so much. But so going into it, like obviously we had to wait longer than usual, and it's been a long time since the third season. I didn't rewatch anything before going in. Luckily there was a pretty long recap that covered like
Everything.
everything. But like just because it's been so long, I was kind of like, I guess like whatever. I'll watch it again because I watched all the previous seasons, and then immediately like I remembered like, yes, this is why I love this show. Like it's been so long, and I didn't realize how much I missed it. And I think it just does a really, really good job of like putting you into that period. Like all the details are so like down to like the last little detail, whatever. So that I really like that. I like our new characters.
Oh yeah.
They're very fun. I mean, we'll if you guys want to like talk about specific scenes or something, we can do that. I won't go
For
into
me,
any more
the
details.
standout scene was the bathroom stall where there's just the feet show up and the door is shaking, and I think it's the cheerleader's mom talking
Yeah.
to her. That scared the shit out of me, and it was daytime, and the
I
lights
know.
were the sun was shining through the windows, and I'm like, this is high level horror television.
It is horror. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like to your point, Jess, where I was like, I remember the older seasons having like horror elements or having that, but it still was kind of like off-camera horror almost in a lot of the ways until it was like here it showed you the thing,
Yeah.
and then it was like that was like the big reveal. You're still getting a lot of off-camera type horror. Yeah, Pat.
walking into this conversation, and you guys are like, they were in the bathroom, and there was the big thing, and that was the reveal. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in
Yeah,
Stranger
that's
Things?
what you're missing.
No, but like the whole concept, like there was a lot of body horror in this episode.
Yes.
Like especially with at the very end with what happens to the student, and I'm just trying not to spoil anything. What happens to the student, and then you see like in her dream, like where it's like her dad has like stitched eyes and a stitched mouth. It's all like it's like you see it. It's like I did not expect that amount of like graphic body horror that I thought would happen.
It definitely feels more mature. I mean, obviously, as the kids, it's almost like the Harry Potter movies. It's like you get away with more because they're older now.
100%.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
But yeah, it's this is the first like part 1 of the final season, right?
How many
I
episodes came
think
out in this
so.
part?
It's 8.
Yeah,
8 episodes.
I'm pretty sure it's 8,
And
and
I
I think there is going to be another part.
Yeah,
to
they're
the-
doing
part
it.
is,
They're
next
doing it like
part is July.
yeah, they're doing it like Breaking Bad, where it's like
But
half
so
of the
there's
final
8
season.
episodes, and then
2, right? 2 long
I don't.
ones.
I mean, these are long episodes.
but there's going to
They're-
be a 5. There is a 5th season coming. That's when it ends officially.
Is it? Is
I
it
thought that was
part
part 2.
I thought that was part 2 of season 4. It's I don't know. Well,
They will end Stranger Things with the Stranger Things 5, is what I read.
oh okay. We'll
Yeah,
see.
Maybe from my understanding was that part 5 was those 2 episodes, but I could be wrong.
These episodes are like an hour to 2 hours long too, Pat. Like for this final season, it's wild.
What I was going to say was I think they do a really great job. They're balancing a lot of different storylines right now, and I think there was even a quote from Millie Bobby Brown saying like, "Yeah, the main cast is too big." But in the same way that the Infinity War movie and Endgame movie was really great at balancing what all these different characters are doing with their own different storylines. They really nailed it in this first episode where they're catching you up on what everybody's doing, but it doesn't feel disconnected and it doesn't feel like what's going on. It's one narrative through line the whole time.
And I think it really benefits obviously from being season 4 at this point, so we don't have to. And like what Jess said, where the world building is so meticulous that even though they're introducing new characters, they do it in a way that they introduce them that instantly gives you who they are. And like it feels
and
that
it fits in,
it
like
fits
it's natural.
very well. Like it's not kind of like here's a new person and we have to like shoehorn them in, or here's a whole episode on their backstory or anything. It's like no, you just gave this character, a perfect environment to step into, and it really worked out. Yeah. Things be strange.
So the end of that episode, like that whole scene, I had, I thought it was funny. The thing was like, Chrissy, and then I had. Do you guys watch with subtitles?
Yes.
I had them on too.
Oh, are you going to
so-
talk about the wet squelching?
Yes, we was going down the stairs and wet squelching. So we don't know much about this monster, but we know he's wet.
We know he's wet and he squelches.
So I have a question. Is it the same monster
No.
every season, or is it like
No.
a different villain per season?
All from the same like creature
you know,
Because
they're
there were
upside
like
down.
Demogorgons in the first one,
You have a
right?
Demogorgon, then you have
Yeah.
like a Mind Flayer. They're all like still in relation to
And
obviously
the upside
DMD.
down is kind of like the that's like where they come out
It's like
of,
the
right?
Nether.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they fucked everything up, and they, the Russians are involved, of course.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah, I
is
like
it Brett
that.
Gelman? Is that the
He
Yes.
is great.
Yeah.
He's fucking
He is
hysterical
fucking
in this.
great.
Like he plays the same character in every TV show, and I cannot
Yeah.
get enough of him in all of them.
The eye
Is
brain.
Winona Ryder still around, or is she dead?
She's in it.
Oh,
She's
okay.
there.
She's dead on the inside.
Well,
Well, I mean, the amount of times she's been traumatized because her kids. I don't blame her for being dead on the inside.
she's selling encyclopedias this season.
Yeah.
That's
Good
her
for
job.
her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
No
Yeah, she
longer
gets
at the
to work
hardware
from
store.
home.
I love that they
That's
did
so
that.
relevant.
Yeah, they literally that was my exact thought.
With the letter, it's like, dear Mike,
Yeah.
Joyce is working from home now.
She got a new job and she can work remote.
The 80s is so progressive.
Yeah.
Interesting. I do it's on my list to like watch Stranger Things, but I just never got around to it. And like I kind of have this belief that if you like it's work. Like for me, like I always try to practice at least an hour a day to play guitar or whatever, or even just practice like singing. So like then after that, it's like video games or TV. Like
Right, check in, check out.
Yeah,
I would
pretty
say
much.
like it would be a good time to start watching the show in preparation for part 2. Like if you want to get on the bandwagon, now's a good time.
I do
Yeah.
also say that the episodes are decently compelling enough so it doesn't feel like there's a lot of filler.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree
They're
with that.
very concise in what what they're trying to give you. So they do like it's one of those ones where it's like you don't mind watching like 3 or 4 episodes in the sitting.
I'm one of those people that just if it's good, I'll binge it. Like
Yeah, I think you will when you watch it.
You don't say.
what's that movie Quentin Tarantino did?
Good Will Hunting.
That would be fucking wild.
I would love a remake.
Robin Williams would have shot Matt Damon in the end. Be like, that's what you get, you pussy. Anyway,
Language will be a lot more colorful.
God, what is that movie? Hateful Eight. I refuse to see Hateful Eight because it was 3 hours long, right? They released the extended edition, which is like 4.5, and they cut it up into 4 parts on Netflix, and I watched it like a miniseries. Couldn't get enough of that fucking
you
movie.
just need to be marketed to specifically.
Yeah.
Like-
I have a
the
certain
human
type of
brain is
I
is
know.
a funny thing.
Yeah, I was like, I fucking love this, and like I did it like 1 part every night. You know what I mean? We're like, I used to do that. I used to like pause a movie at the hour mark, and I'll pick this up tomorrow. I can't
my
do
God,
that
no.
anymore.
I can't. That's
I
that's
Can't. Like
psychopath.
Yeah, my
when I watch a
ADD brain
movie,
cannot
I
do
have
that.
to see the complete image.
Yeah.
So, are you
Yeah.
guys done with this? Or
We're all done.
Okay.
I'm guessing, right? Y'all are.
All right.
I just wanted to say one more thing about airplanes, though.
Oh, okay.
Nick, we're going to talk about the
with the
entire end of the show is about airplanes.
How come they don't have peanuts anymore? You got the Biscoff and you got the.
Okay, do not talk
Stroop
shit about those
waffles.
Biscoff. Those
Dude,
are so good.
I like the Stroop
waffles
waffle.
are so fucking good. It's not.
Yeah.
even,
I tell
like,
you, I got
good.
weed Stroop waffle when I was in Colorado.
Ooh.
And I
Weed
took them on,
Stroop
we took 'em on the plane too.
Oh,
Did you
Nick.
steam it on top of a hot mug of tea
What?
or coffee?
No, should
Yeah,
I?
Yeah, that's a thing.
That's how you
I didn't. What did the steward flight attendants never told me?
Yeah, you get the and you
Yeah.
get like the the heat coming off of that. And
Is
then it,
stewardess a dated
Yeah.
term?
I don't know.
air flight attendant is the maybe correct.
They're all
term now.
called actors now. No more
That's
actresses.
true. It's like anybody working at a restaurant, anybody who was a flight attendant are all
Actors.
actors.
Yeah. That'll work.
Listen here, actor.
All right.
Give me a Stroop waffle.
And a coffee.
And steam that bitch while you're at it.
It just spits on it.
All right, I got an hour and a half between here and Oregon. Okay, dude, that's a favorite. That's one of my favorite
You
things
love
you've
it.
ever
I
told.
hate it so much.
All right, so hatred. Good point. Despite Disney's best efforts, we're still despite Disney's best efforts, we are still all fans of Star Wars. So this weekend is Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim. They're definitely announcing shit while we're doing this podcast, but a lot came out and it's relevant for us to talk about right now. So we're gonna go ahead and I looked beforehand. I didn't see anything come up, but they might have started announcing stuff since we started the
I'll
show.
look while you're talking.
So I have a list here of stuff that they announced yesterday. I'm just gonna run through it real quick, because we also still want to talk about the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So first of all, we talked about this last show. They confirmed the title and the release for the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. It's going to be Star Wars Jedi Survivor. The trailer dropped. It's a CGI trailer. If it doesn't show gameplay, I'm not really interested.
Nope.
But what it did was it showed somebody in a bacta tank. Didn't look like Darth Vader, but they showed somebody. The Inquisitor,
It's Timothy Oliphant.
the main Inquisitor from Obi-Wan is in this game too.
Okay.
Oh. You're talking
And-
about the egghead dude?
Egghead, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is speculation is like definitely 2023. Speculation is March 2023 or fall 2023.
Interesting. Okay.
Because March, there's a nice release window. They can get a nice game out. And, there's plenty of games that come out in the spring now that do monster numbers. Look at fucking Elden Ring.
Yep.
But also, November is it's Christmas time. And everybody wants their games out. Either way, I think it looks good. I'm excited to jump back into it. We'll cover the other game before we get to that one. I'm really looking forward to the sequel to this. I really liked it. Like I said,
Put some hours in this weekend. I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah. Did you get the jelly out of your? Did you? Well, hold on. First of all,
I did.
Before we
The
get to the jelly,
The jelly is
wait,
resolved.
I told you the isopropyl alcohol and the Q-tip, right? Did you do that or?
I think that was Mike's suggestion first, but
First, but
Okay, whatever.
Pat confirmed that it's the great strategy.
you told me to get the cable so I can plug in my controller to my computer because I'm a noob. I got a Bluetooth receiver for my headphones. So
Okay.
I'm like sitting on the couch on the other side of the room playing Jedi Fallen Order.
There we go.
Feeling like a pimp.
Like a goddamn pimp.
Like a pimp.
Huh.
And that's on God, baby girl.
Well,
So what else is going on with Star Wars?
either way though, you like it now that you have a controller though. It's better
Much,
than mouse.
much better.
Yeah.
Much better.
Adventure games are always better with the
you gotta play it
controller
with the controller. Yeah.
than a mouse and keyboard. Like I've been replaying the Assassin's Creed games. Just finished Black Flag. Great game. We just did Rogue. I'm onto Rogue now, and Rogue was the one that they released on the same day as Unity because Unity was for
Right.
next gen. Rogue was for if you still had a 360 and a PS3.
Yeah.
They just reskinned Black Flag and they put it in Canada. That's all they did. You're in this area called the North Atlantic. It's literally like from Maine northward, and they put all these fake islands out there. You know.
Are there sea shanties?
Yes, of course. But it's like there's icebergs now, and the water's like dark, rich blue as opposed to
Just
like
turn the saturation up.
yeah.
Print it.
What I want to know is, are the sea shanties like Canadian sea shanties?
I
Because
don't.
I want to hear some Stan
maple
Rogers.
syrup.
I don't think so. However, it's really weird because this is the one where you're the assassin that joins the Templars because
Yeah.
they don't agree with like what the assassins did
Mm-hmm.
or like how they handle things. His name is Patrick. Oh no, Shay Patrick Callahan or whatever. He's the most Irish fucking guy that I've ever seen in the video game. Like thick Irish accent and everything. I don't know what the fuck he's doing in Canada though.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Immigrating, Pat.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like everywhere that
You think all the white people got over
Well,
here?
I get that, but also like my point is that like when you're in the Caribbean,
No, I know,
there's
yeah.
a guy who he was born in, even though he's white, he was born in the Caribbean.
We're talking about Alexander Hamilton.
yeah. When you're in Egypt, you're playing as an Egyptian.
Yeah. That's fair.
Okay, moving
During
on.
the
though.
Irish potato famine, you're an assassin.
Please, I'm starving.
Everybody is so weak and frail that you just
Okay.
Just play as a potato.
So we finally got a Cassian.
Assassin's Creed famine.
Spud. We got a trailer.
We got a trailer for Cassian Andor. For Spud. Dude, the guy who plays Cassian Andor looks like a Spud.
Diego
All right?
Luna.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah,
I confused him with Pedro Pascal for the
He
longest
does
time.
have like discount Pedro.
As a
like-
matter of fact, when they cast Pedro Pascal as
Like
a
this?
Mandalorian,
He's playing two characters.
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
I was like, wait,
he's
what
kind
the
of
fuck?
like his and Paul McCartney's like love child.
Oh my God, he does look a lot like Paul McCartney.
like there specifically.
Dude, he's Paul McCartney's housekeeper's son.
He pulled his Schwarzenegger.
But yeah. Oh, can I get the costume?
Okay. So there's gonna be 2 seasons of this show, 12 episodes each.
And then he dies.
Yep. And they're going straight up the ass of Rogue One. Like, I mean,
Just like Kingsman.
the last episode of season 2 will finish with the beginning of Rogue One,
Right.
which is, that's the best thing to do is just play the beginning of a movie you've already made as the last episode of your newest TV show.
And that movie it takes off right at the end of the previous movie.
Literally the
It just never
paragraph.
stops.
Yeah. Like I said, this is what pisses me off. They put themselves in these fucking 30 years. Get out of it.
That's fair. That's a fair
Many
criticism.
Bothans died.
I thought it was Bothians.
Bothans.
Okay,
Bothans.
whatever. Star Wars Skeleton Crew was announced. Now, this is the show that John Watts walked away from Fantastic Four to write and direct.
Yeah.
And Jude Law is going to be starring in this.
Is it a pirate show?
I have no idea.
That would
Is
be
it,
so cool if they were like space pirates.
For a second there, I turned to look at my screen and you started shouting, and I didn't. I was
That
like,
was
who the
like playing
fuck?
from the,
Like,
Hello.
that would be so cool. No, remember like
she digs the bad in the apple.
No,
Would
she
bite.
puts the bag.
Oh, and I'm looking it up right now.
Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
The fuck this about?
But I want some space pirates.
Star Wars Skeleton Crew is announced with Jude Law. It's a new Disney Plus. It's okay, Nick. Just leave it. It's a follow-up.
There's a level in here.
Avicii.
Yeah.
I'll
How do you
level
think I
with ya.
leveled all that shit?
Why is it in the couch?
Because
Keeping it
my
level.
Tool bag is.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, my tool bag's over there.
So what is this about?
It was created. This show is created by Spider-Man: No Way Home's John Watts and Christopher Ford. Star Wars Skeleton Crew will follow a group of 10-year-olds from a small planet who get lost in that galaxy far, far away,
Oh, so it's the
and must
Goonies.
try to find their
Peter
way
Pan.
home. The story will take place after Return of the Jedi and will fit within the timeline of The Mandalorian and Ahsoka. Because, they need to do a fucking crossover.
Gotta be in there.
Is Jude Law going to be a kid? It's like a bunch
Do
of
you
children.
want me to answer that?
It's a
Like-
bunch of
He's the
children.
Peter Pan of the group.
Yeah, it's a bunch of children and then just
The Lost Boys.
60-year-old Jude Law.
Is he
Jude
that
Law
old?
has the spaceship
He's gotta be
equivalent
close to 50,
of a
right?
van with free candy spray
Yeah.
painted on the side.
Free midi chlorine.
Free kitty clothes.
He's 50. He's 50.
God damn, that's the best looking 15-year-old I've ever seen.
No, Jared Leto.
Yeah,
oh, that's true. He's good too. I mean, I
Jude
don't have
Law
Jude
has
Law
a receding
pillow.
hairline. Jared Leto is showing no signs of aging.
He's Morbin.
Well, that's because he's killing his victims and eating their
He's sucking their
adrenochrome.
blue bloods.
The blue bloods. All right. So, yeah, it's pretty much Goonies in space, which I don't think exists yet. So, good on them.
That's fair. That's a pretty original.
Original concept.
Read the concept to me.
That was it.
10
Oh, you wanna hear
children
it?
trying to get
10-year-olds
doing what? They're lost and they have to get home.
from a small planet who get lost in that, quote, galaxy far, far away, and they must try and find their way home. The story will take place after Return of the Jedi and will fit within the timeline of The Mandalorian and Ahsoka.
I'm glad it's not that kid at the end of what was the second
Yeah, the Last Jedi one.
Last Jedi, the broom kid.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not him.
It might, yeah.
Do tell why, Nick.
Well, we all know how I feel.
Well, cause fuck them. That's why.
about,
fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids. It's time for the Jedi to die, or maybe not. Maybe the Jedi are good. Maybe who knows?
Give me that old school, like, I want that back catalog Star Wars, like, lore.
When you said back, I thought you were talking about when Yoda rode on Luke's back.
Give me that back
that
riding
backpack.
Yoda. I want puppet backpack Yoda in every show.
Okay, so speaking of puppet
backpack.
backpacks, we have Mandalorian season 3 coming up in 2023. And so far, all we know is that Grogu and Mando are going to return to Mandalore. We will see that in live
And they're going
action.
to return to Book of Boba Fett
And I hope
too.
they never go back to Tatooine. Ever.
Yeah, nope. That's fine.
Fucking done with Tatooine.
Wait, you said they're going to
Bacta tank.
Mandalore?
Yes.
That'd be cool. They're going to
Yeah.
ride the Mythosaur.
Hope so.
Yeah.
They're gonna shoot people. There's gonna be nothing but people with heads with helmets on their heads.
With head
A
trauma.
planet of no heads. Ahsoka was announced, so 2023. Cory Booker is getting cut out as per request of Rosario Dawson and New Jersey residents alike.
He's my dad.
So
So.
yeah,
Getting cut out of Star
it's
Wars?
a joke, Nick.
What?
You didn't know Cory Booker was in the Star Wars
I could totally
canon?
see that happening as Cory Booker
Cory Booker was going out with her.
Well,
with
they-
Rosario
yeah.
Dawson, but now that they're not together,
Well, you do know Stacey Abrams was in Star Trek, so I could totally see Cory Booker being in Star Wars.
He might. Maybe Pat just leaked something that he didn't know about.
Scoop. Not a scoop, baby. All right. Anyway, yeah, Ahsoka's coming in 2023. One notable thing from the footage is that they made her tendrils a little bit longer,
Yes.
just to piss off the gore fans. See, we can do it at fucking will if we want.
Fuck you.
Motherfucker. I thought that was a hat at first, but no, that's
Nah, that's her. Yeah.
it's like that episode of SpongeBob where he shaves
Yeah.
Kevin, and it's just his
It
fucking
wasn't.
Rain. Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah, so smooth. Indiana Jones 5.
This is not
That's
Star
it.
Wars, but
Lucasfilm.
just
Is Shia LaBeouf gonna be in
It's
it?
just a silhouette here. I pulled it up.
Shia LaBeouf.
you sounded like you said like, is that my present? Santa
Santa came early.
I didn't ask for that.
Are we gonna get anything?
Are we gonna get anything?
Remember, he Harrison Ford broke something on the set of this too, so
My heart.
Oh my god, yeah, that
that's why it's
My
delayed.
I forgot. We talked about that like months ago.
Yeah, and they're still making this movie, dude.
Why? I don't.
We don't need this.
I mean, I've been seeing a lot of a lot of people talking about it, and they're like, there was a good movie in Crystal Skull. It just, it wasn't put together the right way. It could have been good. So I'm like, I'm really hoping we get a good send off for Indiana
Oh
Jones.
my
But
God.
I'm ready for a reboot. I'm ready
guys-
for Chris Pratt to just be Indiana Jones.
Look
Honestly,
at this
fine.
fucking headline.
First look, Harrison Ford returns as swaggering adventurer.
Bro, a guy,
arthritis.
75, a guy who is 75 has literally been wrung out of all of his swagger. Okay, it's like when Austin Powers lost his mojo.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
It's not my bag, baby.
But there it is. There's your still, which they definitely made in Photoshop. Like, there is no way that they actually.
I think that's a Moon Knight still.
I think it's important to note that he's looking down at his feet because he's like, it's not like he can just walk. He's got to look. He's got to be aware of where he's
I
stepping.
gotta
Otherwise, he'll
remember how
break
to
his
walk.
leg
It's
again.
human.
Look, these
Humanizing.
knees,
is
they
very
don't have any
humanizing.
cartilage left. I gotta really make this bridge careful.
They pump me up with cortisone before every take. But yeah, there it is. And that's all they had to say. No word on release.
Relish in the splendor.
Yeah, no word on release. None of that shit. None of the important
I think we're
shit.
very, very excited for this, clearly.
Yeah, I just wanted. They said it's gonna be like a Logan movie. Like they're putting him out the pasture.
Yeah,
You know?
as they need to.
Yeah, as one does when you have a 75-year-old Indiana Jones. Small
Well, then
things.
we'll get the Mutt Williams movies.
There was a interesting story
About Mutt?
about Mutt Williams. When Shia LaBeouf was cast, they were actually considering making him his own little like series or whatever, or even this was before streaming service, but like making a film franchise out of it. However, Shia LaBeouf now tells the story now that there was 3 people that he shouldn't have pissed off in Hollywood. It was Michael Bay with Transformers. It was Steven Spielberg with Indiana Jones. And then most importantly, it was George Lucas. Because once George Lucas says you're an asshole, then nobody's going to want to work
You're
with
done.
you. Like,
Yeah, I just really don't like that Shia kid. He's an asshole.
He's an asshole.
some other small things was just like,
What did they do to get just from Indiana Jones?
yeah, apparently he's a fucking dick. And like, even after that, like, even as like early as something like, or as recent as something like Fury, like, apparently he just didn't shower on set or like brush his teeth because he wanted to be like,
He was when he
real
wanted to pull a
grimy.
Jared Leto.
Yeah, and he was just like,
Method
even
acting.
like Brad Pitt, like, has gone around being like, he was a fucking asshole to work with. Like, all right, so quick things. There's gonna be an expansion for Lego Star Wars. Oh, actually, I'm
I still
sorry.
haven't bought it yet,
It's
but-
not an expansion. It is a.
Take that back.
It's a series on Disney Plus called Disney Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation. There's the
Oh, it's
the
like High
poster
School
for it.
Musical.
Yeah.
Oh, they're literally just doing like, hey,
It's
we need
kids.
to
It's
continually
for
promote
kids.
this game to buy.
There's a High Republic kids show coming.
A lot of Star Wars children
Yeah,
content.
and then
right
there
now.
was a trailer for Willow. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with what Willow is.
Will Smith's kid, Willow.
No, Mike, not Will Smith's kid, Willow.
Why not?
Willow is a movie that came out in 1988. It was a fantasy adventure produced by George Lucas. I don't know how this performed.
Yeah, I know
at the
this.
box office. It's got a 51% on Rotten Tomatoes, 47% on Metacritic. My whole thing is just like, this is one of those things that has a cult following, and now they're trying to make a legit thing. Like when The Dark Crystal came out on Netflix, like that
Yeah.
was another one of those things that's like a cult following. They tried to make it a thing.
I really liked that series.
I know you did.
It was really good.
I know you did. But yeah, now they've announced
Puppets.
They finally put out a trailer for the series Willow. Warwick Davis is back playing the role of a lifetime.
Yep.
And dude, oh my God, hold
Val
on.
Kilmer in it again?
Yes. Do you see the picture that I'm seeing? Look at what they fucking put for his.
Oh, that's been his like IMDb like cast photo for a minute. Like he looks like a proud mom. He's like, there's that meme of like that kid where it's like you're a mom looking at your kids open presents on Christmas. Like he's got that same like prideful, happy look.
Yeah, we ain't gonna be fucking laughing
Yeah.
later when you find out why. No, anyway, so yeah, that was pretty much it. There's Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lord's release date for Nintendo Switch, High Republic showcase. Yeah, there's they showed what's it called? The Inquisitors being bosses in Jedi Survivors too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much how it's all come out so far. There hasn't been really anything else. But either way, now let's get on to actual
Content.
Obi-Wan. So I'll just go first, non-spoiler. If I wasn't, it's okay. I wasn't wowed. This is Act 1
Oh no.
because once again it's fucking 6 episodes, okay, and it's what's it called? If they showed us the first 2 episodes, that's Act 1. So now all you have left is Act 2 and Act 3, and like they better step it up. They have to. Like, I'm just happy to be out of the fucking sand trap. Okay, like that's my biggest note so far.
Yeah.
We're gonna get back there.
It
though.
goes back to what we were talking about earlier. How I don't think Disney understands how TV shows work. They have to be long format things. They have to be told over multiple episodes because you need time for things to breathe, to sit with you, to be justified, to go on the emotional journey with the characters. That's why everyone fucking hates the last season of Game of Thrones. They tried to throw 2 whole seasons worth of character development in 8 fucking episodes. Everybody hates it. Like there's no time for anything to breathe. That being said, the girl who plays little Leia is actually very cute, and I did not know that was going to be a thing. Like, I didn't know that was a part of the trailer or anything. Like, I thought that was a nice bait and switch between, like, we're going to watch Luke through binoculars the whole show. Just kidding. Like,
right.
I think she's a little too precocious for me. It's like, yeah, we get it.
precocious.
Leia.
We go to the same fucking school? What are these Ivy League words you got?
That's a $10 word, Nick.
The only reason I said that is because this morning when I was watching episode 2 with Alexis, I was like, they're making Leia 2, and she said precocious, and I was like, oh yeah, perfect word for like. I understand Leia's great and awesome. She could just be a normal 10-year-old. Just let her be a 10-year-old. She doesn't need to be the same exact character that we saw.
Yeah, I want to see what gets her to that point.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want to see her
to
be
be exactly the same.
Because then it's like, well, where did this character grow?
Yeah.
Leia is one of the biggest missed opportunities in Star Wars, I think, because like they revealed in episode 9, shamefully, that Luke was training her to be a Jedi. I wanted to see, I would like to see a show of, like, see, why can't they just do the shit I want? Like, I would kill to see a show or a prequel movie or something, like, with Leia as a Jedi. You know what I mean? Even if it was just, like, the time that she was training as one before she gave it up, you know?
Honestly, like, I know a lot of people do want that Leia as a Jedi. To me, I think she's even more awesome because she's a great like military and political leader, and that's all she needs to be. She can be Force sensitive, but I mean, like, she's still a badass character without having the Force.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with that.
But getting back to the show,
Being a space witch wouldn't be, shitty either.
Maybe just here and there, little sprinkles. Like,
yeah, I thought the way that they did it, where like she got blasted out of the control room and flew back, that was terrible.
I didn't like that in the moment, but in retrospect, now that like it's kind of understood in the larger canon that she is very much one with the Force, that she could do that.
But it's about how it was presented.
How it was sprung on me was like, what the fuck? Like,
all right.
But the show Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'm right there with you where it's like, it's okay. I enjoy seeing these characters again. I had one like freak out moment, which was when you had Tam Morrison like as almost like a beggar on the street in his clone trooper outfit. I was like, that's a
cool. Fucking great inclusion. That he like obviously it's a cameo from him, but also like, what's the show of that guy like?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I would like to see that.
Yeah, this is also the first time that clone troopers have ever been in live action. Yeah. Like like during Order 66 when you see them, slaughtering all the. Which, what a fun throwback! We're gonna do Order 66 again, but even then, it's just one of those things where I was like, what's the like that shit is more interesting than seeing, than the actual
Boba Fett show.
Yeah, not the Boba Fett show.
No, I know. I'm saying it would be more interesting than everything that happened in that show.
Than this so far.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't. I'm not invested in anything. The villains are the what's her name?
I don't know. The sister, one of the
third sister. I think that they held too much back.
I agree. I really agree.
I needed something in episode 2 that makes me empathize with her more. But so far, she's working for it. You know what I mean? It's not like she's just like all powerful. I know we're all like, you know what I mean? It's not just like, oh no, she's so powerful. That's right, I am. It's like, no, she's actually getting her hands dirty. She's smart. She puts out the hit on him. Like that's kind of what I enjoy about her so far. But I don't have the emotional connection yet. You know, I don't have what truly makes a great villain is that you agree with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just don't have that yet.
I think some of the action is stilted. Have you seen it?
I haven't watched any of it yet. She can only do so many backflips.
But that's the thing is, they have a 5-year-old being chased by 3 grown men. One of them being Flea from the Chili Peppers.
Really?
Yeah, Danny texts me, and he just goes, he just says, Leia getting chased by 3 grown adults is comical.
The way I have to do a demonstration.
Oh boy!
There's literally a point where she's running. She's a 10-year-old girl running, and then you have these guys going like, I'm gonna get you,
like tippy toe,
I'm gonna get you,
fucking Scooby Doo chase.
And then there's one point she ducks under a tree branch, and one guy just goes like runs into it and falls backwards. It was like
it was slapstick.
Worst.
Wow.
It was slapstick.
But it wasn't played slapstick.
Yeah.
It just was, and
it's
they
like,
were
wow,
playing it serious.
She's incredibly nimble for being 6
It was
or 8
bad.
or 10. I think she's 10.
She's
Holy
10.
hell.
Yeah. She's good though.
Good job,
Yeah.
Nick. You really painted a
You like
picture
that?
for
You
me.
like
Yeah.
The actress who plays her is very good though. She's very charismatic.
I think the lines that are written for her are terrible.
That being said, though, the moment I really enjoyed was, first of all, fuck her mom, because
No, that's Jimmy Smith's job.
because the cousin was a dick to her first, so she stood up for herself, and then she's gonna be forced to apologize. Fuck that. Hell no. If I was in that situation, I'd be like, what'd that motherfucker say? All right, you ain't apologizing to him. You stood up for yourself. Like, fuck her. I get this, like, politics and everything.
That's why Pat has the relationship with his family
I was
that he does now.
about to say this is very much projected family issue.
Hey, everybody leave me alone, okay? This is my therapy. But then the other thing is that when Jimmy Smits talks to her, I love the scene where he's like, I wanted a Mufasa moment where he's like all you see in the light,
All the light touches
yeah,
is
pretty
yours.
much. But they did that moment, but the dialogue is so weird. Like when he says I'm not a real Organa, right? Instead of him saying like reaffirming like no, you are an just the way it was, he's like, hey, you're our daughter. Like that's how he puts it.
Stop it.
Yeah, that's the dialogue, you know, as opposed to him like taking her by the shoulder, being like and picking her. Like I just felt like that scene was like you were priming up for something really emotional, and the direction and the writing just dropped the ball significantly. I was just like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, they wrote Jimmy Smith's character to be a fucking asshole in this show. So
bad father.
yeah. Also, by the way, does Obi-Wan just like tell everybody where he lives on Tatooine? Because most people seem to just walk into that fucking place. You know what I'm saying? Like
somebody on the Reddit today, they were saying like, the Inquisitors have been looking for him for a decade, but this one random Jedi just was able to find him like no issue.
Oh, so there's a lot of like suspension of disbelief here.
convenient writing.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
Whereas like I'll put it like
a
this.
sci-fi original. It doesn't feel like something that should doesn't rise to the level.
Is the worst thing I've heard about it. That is a strong condemnation.
Is like I'm very invested because I love the characters and I love the setting.
I love Ewan McGregor.
The actors. Yeah, Ewan McGregor's great, but the attention to detail is just not there.
I'll put it like this. When they wrote Avengers Infinity War, the way that they decided what characters would be split up into what group before they actually wrote the rest of the movie was they wanted it to do it by personality. Who would create the most sparks with each other?
Right.
That's why the two biggest egos in the MCU are together.
split. Yeah,
no,
with
they're
that.
together. Tony and what's his name? Doctor Strange.
Oh,
They're
okay.
together. And then Peter Parker's with them. And then you have bigger personalities like Drax and whatever. And then the other team is supposed to be like covert special ops. So that's why it's like Falcon. So they figured they took that time to figure out why these characters would be together and what would be the best on screen. Whereas I feel like this one is like Doctor Strange 2, where like there's a lot of convenient writing just to get things to happen.
Right.
Except when the things happen in this show, as opposed to Doctor Strange 2, it isn't even close to being fun. So I don't like it nearly as much.
They tried this and it's bad and I hate it.
Yeah.
You're happy to see them together, but you're not happy about how it got to that
happened.
point.
It's also just fucking boring. Can something happen? It's Star Wars.
That's everything with these like 6 to 8 episode series, dude. It takes, 4
if there's
episodes to
6
fucking get to
episodes
something.
about Obi-Wan, there should be at least 7 to 8 action sequences throughout the show.
I like so far. There's been like a good amount of hand-to-hand combat and blaster combat.
Oh, that is the
which
one
is cool. It was nice to see Obi-Wan actually kick some ass.
Well, I always said that Obi-Wan was like, he was always like, if you watch him in the movies, he's always like never afraid to just square up.
Yeah.
Like when he lost against Grievous, he just kind of took the gun and shot him in the chest. But when him and Anakin just force each other's lightsabers out of their hands in Revenge of the Sith, like Obi-Wan just fucking squares up immediately and they start like actually having a fist fight for a quick second there until they, do the whole thing where they grab it and then they make those faces at each other. Yeah.
Right.
But either way, there was a taste of that. Is he a butcher? Like, what's his deal?
I don't know.
Is he chopping up weird animals?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Blocks of meat.
I like that. Yeah, like weird, like
Yeah,
piggy
it
animals.
looks like something between like pork and fish put together.
Yeah, some crazy shit like that.
Cool.
And he chops it. He cuts a piece
Call it
for
fork.
He cuts a piece for his thing.
His aardvark horse.
It's so weird. It's like a camel horse, and I guess
It's like an aardvark
and an aardvark.
or
It's
an anteater
for sure.
camel.
Yeah. It's so weird. And I asked Liz, is this cute? And then it zooms in on its face and they do the cute eyes. And she's like, yeah, that's cute. I was like, man, they do really, like, they never strike out with these designs, at least, There hasn't been something that's truly repulsive that they've tried to pass off as cute yet.
I'll say there's two. That they're not trying to pass off as cute, but the monster in Rogue One, the Borgullet, which is the one that Saw Gerrera uses to invade Bodhi's mind.
Yeah.
That's not Star Wars. Don't even try to tell me that's a Star Wars creature. It's not. And also the big creature on Han Solo's ship in Force
Awakens.
That is contrived, not Star Wars creature. That's some stupid bullshit.
J.J. Abrams, train monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really okay. I went in and like my excitement raised when they're in the last 10 minutes of episode 2. It's weird to say out loud because you'd think I'm talking about Attack of the Clones. Either way though, he finally pulls out his lightsaber and I go, here we go.
Man, okay.
We're gonna do it. And then some shit happens, which now that I think about it, I guess Jedi Fallen Order has to be set before this because the character is now dead. Either way, though, it's boring.
I don't know
it's
what you're
fucking
talking
boring.
about. And
Don't
I
worry
don't
about
want to invest because I'm not done.
Yeah. Oh, did you not watch episode 2?
No, Fallen Order. He's not.
Oh,
on
Fallen Order.
I haven't finished.
Oh, not Fallen Order, the new one, whatever the sequel to that is. Remember, he's in that too. The round-headed guy.
Yeah.
He's in
Survivor.
He's in
Oh,
Survivor,
okay,
and he's
gotcha,
in this.
gotcha. I
So
totally
that
forgot that.
definitely has to take place before that now.
Yeah.
Either way, though, fucking lame sauce.
Lame.
It's just okay.
I'm not excited.
I
about it
am
now.
what I am glad that they're doing is they're bringing in characters and from all the different
From the animated
media,
show, yeah.
animated and from the games. Like Saw Gerrera is now in fucking Jedi Fallen Order as well.
Oh yeah, he was in that, wasn't he?
Yeah, I was like, oh, cool.
Right.
Also, I don't know if this is a me thing, maybe my settings on my computer. The Wookiees in Jedi Fallen Order look like garbage. They look terrible.
I think. Okay. All right. Hey, listen. Fair enough. Okay.
They're all the same.
Send me a picture, please, next time.
The one last thing that I want to mention about Obi-Wan
No, that's how they look, Nick.
They look like ass.
is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It looks a little bit better than what I have, but yeah, they're all the same character models, just with slightly different color fur.
Obi-Wan Kenobi should know who Vader is at this point.
I was very surprised by that. The fact that he's
It
not
takes
aware.
place 10 years later,
How does he not like?
and he
even
doesn't
just
know who
sense that it's
Vader.
Anakin.
Well, he
right?
cuts himself off from the Force.
Oh, right.
So
Still, how do you not know?
I'm really upset that they're taking my favorite Jedi down this road. And in 9
they will
years, he's
ruin
supposed to
everything
go
you
to.
love.
In 9 years, he's supposed to go to. He's supposed to turn into Alec Guinness.
Yeah, that harsh weather.
It'll do that to you.
Well, also-
It'll ring you out.
Look at I think like if you look at Hayden Christensen now, it's like wow, he did like we used to say like oh look he wouldn't have aged that much, but he does
He
look
did.
quite a bit older now.
Yeah, he's like 44 now, I think.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that Ice Cube is in this show?
O'Shea Jackson Jr. It's his son.
Ice
Really?
Cube is listed,
He's listed
in the
on
cast.
like IMDb or whatever.
No.
What?
They're both in the
Wow.
list that I'm looking at.
So it's
And there's a bunch of
Kamal,
people with question marks.
yes. Kumail Nanjiani apparently has a question
Oh,
mark.
Kamal Nanjiani
Yeah.
was in episode 2. What'd you think of his character?
Before he came back, I was like unsure how I felt, but when he had that like change of heart, I was like, okay, cool. This is a cool development. It's weird because it's very hard for me to take Kumail seriously most of the time.
I hear what you're saying. I'm still focusing on that though. I mean, listen. I like him.
Yeah, I really
So
like him a lot.
He was fun to watch, but it's also one of those things where his character was ultimately unnecessary.
To me, it was an issue of it not feeling like it was part of the world. It felt a little too tongue in cheek, like he knew he was a Star Wars character.
That's the Google
Yeah.
the Google list.
The Guga.
That's the one that they're apparently that is not
Accurate.
accurate. O'Shea Jackson
Oh.
Jr. though,
'Cause
his son is going to be a to be confirmed
Both
character.
him and his son
Yeah.
are on that Google list. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I read the
Yeah, yeah,
IMDb list last night, and I only saw O'Shea.
Oh shit.
O'Shea. All right,
O'Shea Patrick McCullough.
you ready?
McCullough.
The moment we've been waiting for. I guess not. Anyway,
Give me a little bit of drumming.
yeah. The return of Scientology. Tom Cruise in Top Gun Maverick.
All right, so at this point in the show, I'm going to just lay down and look at my phone.
Watch out that screwdriver, Nick.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So we saw Top Gun Maverick.
So we saw Top Gun Maverick. Now listen, we're gonna do non-spoilers, and then did you see this?
No.
Okay. Do
you have
want
an
it?
intention
Do you
of
have
it?
intentions
This
to
one
see?
is hashtag for the boys. And I'm at
FTB.
peace with that.
White Boy Summer. Let's go. All right. So Nick, do you have intentions to see this?
No, not
Okay.
really.
All right. Fair enough. All right. So I kind of have like this weird thing where like I don't see Tom Cruise as a human, and not like he's a superhuman, but he's like
He's an alien.
He's an alien, but it's the type of alien that has like input lag from the mothership. So there's always these weird quirks, right? Like, so I always also equate him to like The Rock. He's a big personality that does like all these movies. He's the executive producer, the star. He says what happens in the story, all this shit, right? But then I realized something after watching this movie. And the difference between The Rock and Tom Cruise is that Tom Cruise has been actively in Hollywood since he's 19 years old.
Yeah, for 40 years.
For 40-something years. The Rock has not. The Rock makes movies that make him, like that sell his brand. Tom Cruise actually has the ability to tell a good story. Like this, the last 3 Mission Impossible movies, and like here's the other thing too, is that these aren't just like great action, like not just great action movies. They have really relatable characters with emotional arcs, and like you care about Ethan Hunt, you care about Maverick. I mean, he's had flops too, like The Mummy and something else, but he also didn't help write those.
Is something else the name of a movie, or are you just not able to
I
bring
can't
something
remember
to
what
mind?
the other one
I
is.
thought you were going to call
There's-
that the Mummy.
Oh, Vanilla Sky. That's the other one. Vanilla Sky is another big flop he had. Or he was in Rock of Ages. He played Stacey Jacks.
Oh,
The
right.
guy took 4 months of singing lessons and then actually recorded his own versions of Pour Some Sugar on Me and what's the Bon Jovi song? On a steel horse I ride.
Oh, Dead or Alive.
Dead or Alive, yeah. Like he actually sung those songs. The dude's an absolute fucking monster when it comes to entertaining people. So I was expecting this to be good. I heard nothing but good things. I didn't expect it to be this good though.
Yeah.
It was so fucking good. Go ahead, you go.
So jumping off that like Tom Cruise and The Rock kind of thing is the way that I like. Yes, I don't view Tom Cruise as like an alien. He's an alien man.
Yeah,
is the thing. But like when
certainly, that's the best.
I think everybody here can agree.
Tom Cruise is 100% an alien man, right?
He's friends with Xenu.
when we're doing these movies, I mean, like he is. With all of the Mission Impossible films and all of like these kind of movies, he is doing all of these stunts. He is, a physically athletic individual who is like making all of
looks
this.
Amazing
Looks
for 58.
Incredible in this, but like it's to me, like the progression of Tom Cruise over the last like Mission Impossible and this is like it still feels like that Rock kind of thing. It's like it is a movie about Tom Cruise, and it's kind of like how far is he going to push?
No, dude, I strongly disagree. You watch the Mission Impossible movies, Ethan Hunt and Maverick are two totally different characters.
Not that. Not saying that it is Tom Cruise playing Tom Cruise. I'm not saying that, but it's kind of like
that's precisely what
what you meant with The Rock.
Yeah, that The Rock is playing nothing but The Rock, but the Tom Cruise is. He's not just telling a good story and making crazy action spectacles.
He's playing.
He knows how to fucking act too.
Yeah, no, he might be one of like one of the better.
He's a dying breed.
Like, well, and that's like the whole thing with this movie. And the beginning, Ed Harris is basically telling him, like you're an old man. He's like, we have drones now. We don't need fighter pilots, and you have this kind of parallel between,
which is an interesting plot point to set up because they don't dwell on it really too much because we'll get into it in spoilers, but what I really appreciated was that you think that's the motivation for his character.
Yeah.
And then they reveal it to you at the end of Act 2 what his real motivation is, and it's way more fucking painful than you thought it was going to be.
But going back to that, it's like I think it's a really cool parallel they have with, pilots being a dying breed, and then you have Tom Cruise, who is like the actor, like this like action star kind of. You have like a real life parallel with that versus when we have so many movies where it's almost like you can have an interchangeable person. Like superhero movies are super popular now.
Yeah,
you just put somebody with a mask, so it's like you almost have like that faceless star is kind of like the direction, and like CGI and everything is going with movies just like being the big popular kind of element of it.
Yeah.
And then Top Gun being with Tom Cruise being the main actor, and then so much of it with actual practical effects. You just get like a really good parallel with that to the movie industry now.
Yeah, no, that's a good point actually. I see what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
First off, I love that they kept the 80s synth theme from the first movie.
You get Danger Zone first thing.
Danger Zone that happens 4 times in this movie, and every time it's awesome.
Did it happen multiple times in the first movie, or just?
I think it was just when he was riding the motorcycle up the fucking
parallel to the plane.
Which but it was one of those things where it's also important to point out that this is a legacy sequel. I'm not sure if Tom Cruise knows what that is, but this is a legacy sequel. It is nostalgic to a point, but it doesn't dwell on it, and it doesn't insult any of the original cast.
This is how you do.
Yes. We talked about Ghostbusters being, this is the template from now on.
From now on, like, this is everything about it. It is not just being, like you said, it has nostalgia in the sense of it uses a lot of parallel shots and reference and everything like that, purely for flavor.
Yes.
It does not use them as,
they're not linchpins for the story.
They are not linchpins for the story.
Because, like, this movie... listen, I like the first Top Gun. It's not like one of my favorite movies or anything, but I liked it. I liked it as a kid and everything. It's entertaining.
It is hardly a movie. Like I watched
it's an advertisement for Navy pilots.
I literally watched that on Thursday, and then I saw it yesterday in Top Gun, and I was like, there is very loose story.
Yeah,
there is very loose, it just kind of feels like I watched again. Yeah, like you just watch something happen.
Yeah,
not like a story unveil.
And this one is like the same thing I equated with the Blade Runner sequel. Is that this movie, instead of focusing on like the world and the like Top Gun focuses on like the spectacle and the world they live in and all that shit, right? This movie actually focuses on telling a fucking story, whereas the first Blade Runner, yes, it had a story, but that was more about the over the top action and the world that they built in, and like the only line anyone remembers is the one at the end of the movie where the guy's like, "Am I a real boy?" Like that, you know what I mean? And there's not much to it. The second movie, the second Blade Runner, actually tells a very meticulous and sophisticated story, and it's fucking incredible. I think it's way better than the first one.
Yeah.
And the same thing here.
Same
I think
thing for
this
this.
is much better than the first one.
Absolutely.
And it's not like much better because it's a higher standard of movie. It's literally like, wow, this is a very compelling fucking story and a very compelling arc for a character. Like the fact that they focused on his character, like the actual character that Tom Cruise plays.
Pete Maverick.
Well,
So
that's
Pete Maverick.
Pete Maverick.
Yes. But yeah, it's just in the first movie, it's kind of like in Top Gun 1986. Which also wild. It is 36 years later. Like that's the gap between those two films. Like but that one, it's like, they have a lot. Like, it's basically just like, look at these planes. These are cool.
They're flying Tomcats.
At
the end of the
yeah. It's like, look at these planes. These are cool. This one was like, look at these planes. They're even cooler. But yeah, here's an actual like story. Here's people. Like, you can tell Maverick has both changed and not changed over the course of these years. With him, he's still a captain. Yeah. Like, he's basically chosen to not move up the ranks through the army or anything else because he's like, I want to fly. I'm a pilot. I'm stubborn. I'm a hotshot. That's who I am.
Well, you realize why he hasn't moved on in the later part of the movie.
It's time to let go, Pat.
Speaking of the planes, though, action sequences are absolutely wild. Now, obviously, they used some CG on the final battle to do some of the more incredible stuff, but the way this worked was, so it cost them $11,000 per hour per jet to rent those planes.
Wow.
And everybody was in the back seat, and they had a pilot in the front seat, and they had the cameras strapped to their face and they really fucking took them up there like 5 and 6 Gs. Like,
you can tell like when they're flying around and you see like when they're hitting the Gs, when they're doing like the ascents and everything, like his face is like peeling back. Like you can see that happening.
There's also like like the part where because fighter pilots, when they fly up the side of a mountain, when they go over the top, they don't like go over and crest down. They invert so they can see how far away they are from the ground. And there's a shot in this movie where Miles Teller didn't have his buckle strapped and he fucking comes out of the seat and hits the top of the canopy. They're like, yeah, we kept that in also because like not only was it just like luck, that's also how his dad died in the first one. Yeah, but he hits the top of the canopy. So it was a nice little like happy accident. Right. The Death Star sequence, not Death Star. No, was it Star Killer? What the fuck is it called?
Star Killer Base?
No.
It's basically it's like the Death Star run, like that they have to do.
Yeah. But what's the plane in the beginning? Is it Star Killer? God damn it! Either way, the plane in the beginning that Tom Cruise is flying.
Oh, where it's basically like he's a test pilot.
He's a test pilot now.
What he's doing now, and they're trying to like,
I said that to Nick as if he's paying attention. I was like, yeah, he's a test pilot now.
But yeah, the movie starts out with him flying this like super secret
Goodwill Hunting
super secret government plane, and Ed Harris is basically like, I'm shutting down your program.
I'm the drone guy.
So he goes and he breaks Mach 10. And I
started my career in drones by filming the lady across the street with my iPhone.
Now look at where I'm at.
Now I'm heading up this program.
That was like the only campy part of the movie that I really like. There was some throughout the rest of it, but the fact when there's like, he's the fastest man alive.
He's killer. Yeah, he's fastest man alive.
Like when they started out with that, I was like, oh, this movie might be a little bit campy if they're approaching it that way. No. Like really honestly, like I went and I saw this in Dolby because I wanted the sound. Yeah. Bring earplugs. Like if you go see this in anything not in the standard theater, it was fucking loud.
Loudest movie in my life.
Literally, like especially with because the seats vibrate and everything. But one of the big things about this film that I really liked that I don't get out of a lot of movies, I was fucking nervous. Like this was one of the ones where the tension in this movie was wild. Yeah. And
I couldn't figure out who was going to be the one to bite it. I was like,
Yeah.
is it going to be Miles Teller or is it going to be Tom Cruise? And we'll get into that in spoilers.
Yeah, but it was so tense. I was on the edge of my seat like the whole time. And I don't do that a lot with like movies. Like, there's a lot of things I feel it's like it'll either be set up.
Now, what was your expectation going in? Were you thinking like, I'm only watching this because of fucking podcast, or was it like, no, this actually looks pretty good?
So I I was like the first Top Gun. I don't have the nostalgia around that because I was born, 6 years after that.
Yes.
And like watching it again recently, like I watched it when I was younger, and then I watched it on Thursday, and I was like,
It's whatever.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
Again, I don't classify it as a movie, but like this one, my expectation was like, I know the practicality in which Tom Cruise and the perfectionism that he approaches things, and you can tell. I was hoping it would play off that way, and really did. You can honestly really, really, really tell how
They
much
took their time. Yeah.
and specificity was like, there wasn't like any weirdness, or there wasn't any like, what? Like, I didn't have any of those moments. It was an extremely fluid experience.
Well, interesting that you say that, because they were the reason they took so much time is because they wanted to get it right, all this stuff, right? What would make the character interesting to portray? Now that this is coming out, this is going to be Paramount's biggest opening weekend ever. Highest Tom Cruise, and because of that, now they're going to throw money at him to do a Top Gun 3, and I'm just like, please don't. This was too perfect.
I really hope
don't,
they don't.
Don't do another one. Like, this is the reason this is so good is because you guys clearly cared about telling a good story and making a very emotional character arc, and I don't know if that would you just wouldn't have the time for the third one.
Again, it's just like, this is now the gold standard for me on how to do a legacy sequel.
Yeah. Yep.
Like,
I would
hands
agree with
down
that.
that.
They did shoot some stuff with green screens, by the way.
Again,
They had to.
I'm not expecting anything, but like that, I think added to a lot of like the seriousness and like tension for me is that it looked, and because you were there, you were in the cockpit with them.
Yeah.
Like, you felt that it didn't look fake, and a lot of like CGI now, not that it looks fake, but it looks like over-grandized.
When they were flying at okay, let's do spoilers because there's too much stuff I want to talk about.
So if you want to go
see this,
take your dad. It's for the boys only, apparently, Jess says, but Memorial Day weekend.
I went with Liz's mom. I mean, it wasn't just me and her; like the whole family went, but she was there.
Went with Liz's mom.
I went with Liz. Was there. She enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
Nick was there. He enjoyed it a lot in spirit.
Nick just doesn't like Tom Cruise.
Look, I don't like Tom Cruise.
Don't you dare talk shit about Tommy C.
Here's the thing.
On this podcast.
I don't dislike Tom Cruise, but for a lot of his movies, I just don't care it's Tom Cruise.
I've never seen Mission Impossible. Just have no reference point for Tom Cruise.
Dude,
This opinion has changed post
so fucking
Top
good.
Gun.
Yeah.
Go
watch Ghost Protocol to Fallout, and they're all the same level of perfectionism in them. They're like Fallout, the last one with Henry Cavill, was like easily like top 5 best action movies I've ever seen in my life.
Damn.
Seen Tropic
And that's
Thunder.
with Roadhouse.
I've seen him in Tropic
He is
Thunder.
great in Tropic Thunder too. All right, so I would give this like 10 out of 10. It was so fucking good.
I'm from like even the sense of that it not was like a payoff emotionally for me because of the nostalgia. Like a 9.5. Like, it was really, really good.
All right, so spoilers. First things first, Val Kilmer. I was not expecting to see him in the movie. I thought they were just gonna reference him.
I thought it was just gonna be the picture of him. Yeah.
He's got one fucking scene, and it's literally the most important scene of the movie.
Yep.
And he doesn't have because he had
can't.
a tracheotomy he had 2 in 2014, destroyed his voice. That's why his career is really over. So they pulled him out of retirement for this, and they wrote him having throat cancer into his character.
Cool.
And him having a tracheotomy and everything. They hide it with like a scarf and everything.
Yeah.
But and he looks like fucking 80s Val Kilmer. Like, he's got the hair pulled back and everything. Like, he looks good. He doesn't look like, disappointed mother when they're opening up their Christmas presents. And he has the most important scene of the movie, and he fucking types it out on a screen. I was like, this is expertly done right now. This is incredible. Like, he's basically typing out the things that Tom Cruise needs to hear, so to speak.
Because he can't talk.
He can't talk, but then he stands up and he says to him, like, he said, the only words he could muster up was it Rooster needs Maverick, and that was pretty
Maverick
much
needs Rooster.
Yeah, Maverick needs Rooster.
It was a real like Iron Giant, like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go, I stay.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, pretty much. But like, I was just like, after that scene, that was like after we watched Poltergeist together, and you know the scene with that I always rant and rave over, like where the graveyard and everything, and they talk about this big thing, and they never show you the graveyard until the last like 0.3 seconds where it pulls out, and it's like this clearly haunted graveyard.
Yeah.
Like I was like, master class of how to do a scene. That was this scene.
And that scene was great because I think a huge Tom Cruise in that scene is fantastic.
Oh, he's so fucking good.
He is like, with Val Kilmer not speaking, there's so much of the actual like emotional weight held on how he's acting and how Tom Cruise is acting and his lines for it.
Yeah.
And he just slays that scene. Like that, it is like, even though it's like, it could be like this is kind of a stupid premise where it's like a dude is just typing, talking to him.
Yeah.
Like that could come off really dumb, but it's like the way that they did it and they sold it through was,
Yeah.
it was, you have this whole big movie, and then it just like zooms in really specifically for
Yup.
this emotional pivotal moment.
And the thing is that like I was saying before, they set it up like he's a dying breed, like he's got to compete with the drones, and like he's really a pilot, and that's why he's comfortable in his zone and everything. The real linchpin of the story though is, and you find out through like him and Rooster don't get along because Rooster is the
Rooster's
son.
Miles Teller.
Yes, Miles Teller's, and Rooster is the son of Goose, who Goose was his backseater, right?
Backseater who died
And
when
who
they
died when
eject.
they ejected, and Maverick holds himself responsible for Goose's death, and he pulled Miles Teller's papers from the Naval Academy and set him back 4 years. Like,
Yeah, he
fucked up his
basically
career
prevented him from going through.
with it.
Because which we find out, and this is like a super, like it just tells so much about Maverick's character, is that Rooster's mom did not want him flying.
Yeah.
Because she was like, like this is how your dad died. She's like, I just can't do that again, basically. So Maverick plays the bad guy, and he's basically like, I'm gonna pull his papers, I'm gonna prevent this. And he never told Rooster that his mom did not want him flying, and his mom passes away. And he says a line to Jennifer Connelly that is like,
Which, by the way, Jennifer Connelly, the years have been kind to her.
she looks great.
She looks amazing. And she wasn't like, it was perfect where it's like, she wasn't a Mary Sue character, but
Yeah.
she's like a strong, like tough individual, but she's also not written in such a way that is insulting to the main character,
Yeah.
which I feel is a problem with a lot of legacy sequels.
Yeah, she's
And,
not
like,
she's not like a Bond girl, basically.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. But like, she fucking sails on her own, and she teaches. There's one scene in that movie. There's a scene during that sequence where Tom Cruise definitely trips, and he almost smashes his face, and they totally kept it in because she absolutely breaks character and asks him, "Are you okay?" And then they just keep doing the scene right afterwards.
Wow.
Like there's no way she like noticed it immediately. Like, she just broke. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Yeah. But either way, she's fucking awesome. But keep going.
But Maverick basically tells her,
Tom.
I broke character. Maverick tells her, he's gonna hate, and he's talking about Rooster. He's like, Rooster's gonna hate me for, he's gonna resent me for pulling his papers. There's no need for him to resent his mom too. So it's like, that he falls on the sword basically to try and protect Goose's son because he still feels guilty about it. And the whole scene with Val Kilmer, comes up to it's time to let go is what he wrote.
Because he holds himself guilty for killing Goose, and that's why they pulled the papers. It's like this domino effect, but it's really awesome storytelling. Like,
Yeah.
And then when he tells him it's time to let go, they like have a nice little cry, and then and
He's
then
like, who's the better pilot? And he's
Yeah.
like, let's not ruin a good moment.
yeah, and then an immediate what's it called? An immediate funeral happens.
Right, yeah, he dies soon after. And the whole point of the movie basically is that there is an uranium plant in some other country.
Okay. Actually, now
You
that
wanna-
you're talking
yeah,
about that, okay. So it's not confirmed officially. However, they definitely that's Russian.
That's Russia. It's
100% Russian, and they
trees,
definitely
snow.
cut out all of
the actual like
the
Russian. yeah.
Russian symbolism, and they 100% like in post turned the word Russia or Russians into just the enemy.
Yeah.
Because of everything that's going on in the world right now.
Yeah, 100%.
There's no fucking way that they didn't. There's only 3 nations in the world that have 5th and 6th generation fighters, us being one of them because we invented it. And then China and Russia. And
yeah.
last I checked, China doesn't have snowy mountains.
Doesn't look
next
like
to
that,
it.
like
yeah,
that,
like
yeah.
it's not like that. It's 100% Russia where
Yeah.
they were at.
But the whole premise is basically this Russian uranium plant is being built, and the U.S. being the police of the world is like, we're gonna go bomb the shit out of that. But it's in like a crevice in like picture like an inverted a volcano that is just like nothing in the center of it. It's at the very bottom of that, so it's like a windy thing you have to do, and then
get
go
this,
into
Nick,
here.
There's one chute right out of the top.
Yeah, there's
And it was designed by somebody's dad intentionally.
Yup.
it literally is just the Death Star run basically they're doing.
Except where they were practicing was much skinnier than what that run ended up becoming.
Right.
I do like how they didn't just kind of like shoehorn him into the final act. The way they justify Tom Cruise, because the whole thing is he comes back to
teach at Top Gun.
at Top Gun because he fucks up the thing in the beginning. And Iceman he's an admiral now, so he has lots of pull. So
Which is Val Kilmer's character, yeah.
yes, Val Kilmer's character. So he, instead of him being dishonorably discharged, he hires him to come back to Top Gun and teach. He teaches 12 pilots, but we only know 6 of them because that's all they need.
Only
for the
half is
mission.
required.
Yeah, only half is required. They get to who's flying the mission, and the thing is that none of the students could fly the course. They basically, when John Hamm took over, he was sending them on a suicide mission. They weren't going to come back.
And he knows that. He's like,
And
there's
then-
acceptable risk. He's like, and Tom Cruise's whole perspective on this because of Goose
Is coming
like,
home.
Come home. Like, I am training these pilots to do their job and come home. Where John Hamm is just the typical military man being like, for your country, you give your life kind of thing.
Yeah. So now they've changed the mission parameters, and all of a sudden there's some guy. They're like, wait a minute, there's a jet on the course right now. And he like shaves like 45 seconds off the total time. And the thing is the scene later is John Hamm is like, I don't know where to fire you, like court-martial you, have you dishonorably discharged, or make you the team leader.
Yeah, put my
But
career on the line.
But either way, you stole a multi-million-dollar jet and you've made it probably no longer flight worthy.
Yeah.
Because the G's that they have to, the whole run is super sketch. They can't go above a certain height because
There's
that's when
surface-to-air
the
missiles,
surface-to-air
yeah.
missiles that will kill them. And it's basically windy terrain. They have to fly under a bridge at one point.
Yeah, it's just an impossible
It's an impossible flight,
like,
and then they have to climb up through the trench that goes vertical.
Yeah.
They have to drop down. They have to make an impossible shot with these missiles, and then they have to climb back up a taller fucking side, which gets
still
them into
maintaining underneath, yeah.
yeah, which they break anyway, and all hell breaks loose. But the first shot with the laser, right? I was like, okay, good, they got that one, because that one is there just to penetrate the hole for them to get another missile in there. The second shot, of course, Miles Teller just eyes it. 'cause
He
the
literally
laser- the
turns off
laser-
his targeting computer.
yeah, like
it's
the
such a
laser,
parallel.
like the laser turns off. Like it's like I can't. The laser's jammed.
Yeah,
and
they
he's
have
like,
one dude
"Fuck it,"
targeting.
and I'm eyeballing it. Like that's exactly what it was. And when it went in there, that was cool too. Like
Dude,
just
the whole-
funk, like,
Yeah.
and then the whole underground.
there was a
explodes.
massive like implosion on the earth. It looked really cool, but
And then the ending kind of lost me.
how so?
Because I thought everything was pretty much grounded in reality at this point, because these jets are absolutely crazy what they can do, and the military pilots are like absolutely unstoppable. So when it got to the part where, so first of all, Maverick gets shot down.
Yeah, Maverick
Right.
gets hit.
Maverick
and
gets hit.
He ejects.
Well, he took the missile for
Miles Teller.
Rooster, yeah.
This was his like
He does his
making up for Goose.
his fucking signature move where he like
yeah.
yeah,
Breaks
either way.
up, comes back.
yeah. So he gets fucking hit by a missile and he parachutes out, and right before a helicopter from the enemy annihilates him in the bushes.
There's like a Black Hawk that
Yeah.
like comes and finds him and like starts like just shooting him, which he conveniently hides behind a log from against, like 50 cal rounds, but okay.
And then it comes around the other side, is about to obliterate him, and then a missile just hits it, and then he gets hit by surface to air, and now both of him and Miles Teller are on the ground. They run to the base that they just tomahawked to find like extraction or whatever. And what do you think they see in the hangar? An F-14 Tomcat, which is what they
The
flew
original plane where
Yeah.
he's like, I shot down a couple MiGs with this back while,
yeah,
but
which is like what they flew in the first one.
Yeah.
So they go up there. I mean, they go out there, and they just walk into the base, no resistance. I get there's like
fair,
hysteria and everything going on.
The base was like massively bombed by a warship, so it's like everybody there is running. It's on fire. It's a whole airstrip.
So then they get in the plane. It's the old plane and all that shit, right? The plane it was the new plane in 1986.
Yeah.
And they fly it out of there, and now all of a sudden you have Maverick flying, and you have Rooster in the back, and nostalgia. And then they run into 2 5th-generation Russian fighters, and they don't absolutely obliterate them, but the way that they handle that last action sequence is quite creative, and I like the Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah,
or not
Deus Ex Machina.
Deus Ex Hangman
with Hangman
at the end. Because I like when that sequence was happening, I was like, Hangman's gonna save them, because they said that they're keeping him in reserve.
Yeah.
But you saw him,
and he's like, "Can I go out? Can I go out?"
Yeah, you saw him suit up as it's gonna happen. There's no way. That being said, me knowing that though, I was still like, "Oh shit!" while it was going on. It was absolutely
because the whole thing is like throughout the entire movie, they're basically like, these are 5th-gen fighters that the enemy has. It's like we don't what we're flying will not in a dogfight you will die. There is no way you can outrun them, you can outgun them. That's what it is. So in the ending where he's like, we're going to get an even older plane and have to run away, it's just the whole line of it's it's not the plane, it's the pilot comes into play, which came up once or twice. And you have Tom Cruise and Rooster just absolutely killing 2 of those planes. And then on the way back, he's all out of bullets, he's all out of missiles, going back to the base in the airship, and this other plane is just coming at him.
Another one just shows up on their nose.
Yeah, and he's doing a ton of maneuvers. He's trying everything, and eventually gets to the point where they're like, "We have to eject. We have to eject. We're gonna die."
They go to pull the eject, and it doesn't work because it's such an old fucking plane.
So he's like, "We're just gonna fucking fly up and figure out what we're gonna do," and they basically accept that they're gonna die. And then Hangman, whose name is Hangman because he leaves everybody hanging.
Literally breaks off from his wingman whenever
character
he can just
redemption.
To kill people. Yeah,
and then
that was
saves
his
them.
arc. Was he was a dick, and then he comes back and he saves him at the end. And even then, he was still a dick. He was like, "What did he say?"
Your captain speaking. Your trade tables. He's like,
But what did he say after he Miles Teller was like, "Damn, hey man, you're good," and he's like, "Very good," and just flew away. I was like, "Wait a minute, hold on, those guys gotta get fucking home, bro."
I know.
When they take out the first 2 pilots, I liked how it was like, all right, let's just try and signal our way out of this. And they start signaling to the pilots. He's like, yeah, I have no idea. I'm just making up whatever at this point. And then they said his wingman's getting into attack position. And that's when they just spray that one dude. I was like, that's a good idea.
I was like, you can take out one.
The characters think. They also somehow get a missile to fly into him at one point.
That was the coolest moment of the movie.
How about the part where the guy brakes on the jet and fucking that flies fast? Because even I in the theater was like, what the fuck was that? And then Miles Teller's character actually goes, what the fuck was that?
Because that's the new technology they can do. The new planes can do shit like that. But it's super cool. He shoots down one of the planes, and this other plane, the way the plane fires a missile at him, and as the other plane is already going down, Maverick flies in front of it, so the enemy missile hits the already going down plane and explodes. It's
fucking
wild. Cool.
And they said they couldn't outrun his guns, but they were like, we need to fly low because that'll distract his targeting system. I was like, you guys are just taking everything from Star Wars.
Yeah, it literally was the
Death Star run. But overall though, even though I thought that was kind of weird, I was like, okay, they're doing this for nostalgia's sake. I'm not gonna fault it because it was still an extremely exhilarating action sequence. It was like you said, gripping. The tension was built so well. And not only that, it made sense to get those 2 characters in a plane together.
Yeah.
So even if they were going for a nostalgia trip, it was acceptable because the story, this had to happen for them to reconcile.
Yeah.
And then the ending on the deck is literally the ending of the first one.
Top Gun
it's the
1.
first one.
It's just the whole last 30 to 40 minutes is such a tense roller coaster of. They're okay, they're not okay, this is a problem, that's not a problem. And it's done in a way that is not kind of oh, great, and here's another fucking thing. It's just such an organic approach to how you need to build tension and just problems in a storyline that it's just done so damn well.
Yeah, it was good. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else I have to mention. They did also some character work with him and Jennifer Connelly when the daughter was like, just don't break her heart again.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn, none of these moments are played for cheap laughs or anything. Like there's always, even though like, yeah, it's cute that she said that, like it makes sense. Like they mentioned before how he fucked up with her a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I thought we were about to watch two people in their 50s fuck, and I was like
in the
thank
original Top Gun.
God.
Yeah.
They didn't do that. It was
I
like,
know.
Jesus Christ. They start kissing, and then it just cuts to them
Like talking happily
in bed with she's in a robe and he's shirtless. And I was
Yeah.
just like,
I was like,
thank
that's an old people fuck. They're
Christ.
done. Like,
Yeah.
now they're like talking about it.
all right. Yeah, so Top Gun's good. Check it out. So I got a clip for you guys. You ready?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So it's not really like a clip per se. It's more like an audio clip, but I brought a picture here just for visual
Oh
representation.
no.
Is this the clip of the week?
Yes, it is.
This is the.
Oh,
I'm worried about
Maybe we
this.
should introduce her.
Oh yeah, it's the clip of the week. Oh, it's the clip of the week. It's the clip of the week.
So I'm gonna go ahead
I'm
and
very
play it,
concerned
and
as
then
to
we-
what's about to happen.
So I'm going to go ahead and play it, and then you guys can ask me about it later. You ready?
Dreamed I saw my maternal grandmother sitting by the bank of a swimming pool, which was also a river. Her genital region was exposed dimly. It had the appearance of a thick mat of hair. She was stroking herself absent-mindedly. She walked over to me with a handful of pubic hair compacted into something resembling a large artist's paintbrush.
Oh.
She pushed this at my face. I raised my arm several times to deflect her hand. Finally, unwilling to hurt her or interfere with her any further, I let her have her way. She stroked my face with the brush gently and said, like a child, "Isn't it soft?" I looked at her ruined face and said, "Yes, Grandma, it's soft."
What the fuck
Where
just happened?
Find
I
that.
let her have her way.
Not wanting to hurt her.
Picasso, I like it.
I dreamed I
got
saw my maternal grandmother.
Holy.
So-
What
the
did we just
fucking
listen to?
So this is an excerpt from Jordan Peterson's newest book. Like, does he not have an editor?
You're lying.
Like,
you
no,
are lying.
This is, dude, that's his voice.
I dreamed I saw my maternal grandmother
That's
sitting
him.
by
It
the
is.
bank of a swimming pool, which was
There's also a river.
Her genital
You know
region
how dreams do what dreams do.
Oh my
What
god.
the
So
I don't know
apparently,
how to
What the
react. I
fuck?
don't know how to react.
How did you come upon this?
oh, dude,
Are you sitting on the bank of a pool?
that was
Or a river.
also a river.
Also a river?
So, like, here's the deal.
What the
This is an
fucking
excerpt
fuck?
from his newest book that apparently bombed. Like, just nobody bought this shit.
I wonder why.
I'm looking at like
And
where this comes
Does
from.
he not have an editor? Like, someone would be like, "Hey, Jordan, you know what? The new book is great, but this story about your grandmother,
Your grandmother.
like,
region was exposed dimly. It had the appearance of a thick mat of hair. She was stroking herself absent-mindedly.
I fucking
She
hate
walked
this.
over to me
Listen to this,
with
though.
a handful of pubic hair compacted into something resembling a large artist's paintbrush.
what does he mean by a large artist paintbrush? Like large, like this?
I'm thinking
or
like
large like this?
which large? What the fucking fuck, dude?
She pushed this at my face. I raised my arm several times.
Like, do you feel no shame reading this in the audiobook recording studio?
Like
Like,
her hand. Finally, unwilling to hurt her or interfere with her any further, I
let her have her way.
I am upset. I am deeply upset.
Wait, Nick. You
don't-
mean to tell me you did not know this was a thing?
I didn't know it was a thing. I did not. And I'm
makes-
sad that I do now.
It makes your eyes water in the worst way.
I can't wait to go back and watch myself reacting to that. Just
I let her have her way.
What the
Pat-
fuck?
Pat, that was, you really did raise the stakes for what a clip of the week can be. but I also put something in the Discord.
I got
so
it.
we have something for social media.
Can you
Because
give
that's
me-
not going on our Instagram.
Can you give me the eye bleach or ear bleach or mind bleach?
This is what? Yeah, this is a clip that'll be a little bit more
I let
amusing.
her have her way.
Hey, later. It sounds like Kermit.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I let her have her way.
I literally have my way.
Oh boy,
You
let's see.
full screen that bitch.
Yeah, well, I gotta get the internet first.
I need the internet. Does it
Hold
have,
on.
does it have
Hold
audio,
on.
Pat? Oh, you want to pause?
What a time to pause. What a time to pause.
Okay, let's go back. We ready?
All right.
I don't know if there's audio or not. I watched this on the plane the other day.
Jesus Christ. Oh, there is audio.
Okay.
Oh! Oh my god. It seemed like it was going so slow, but it just like bubble boyed him.
Bubble
Oh my god! Wow.
I
Ouchie.
let her have her way.
I think we need a new drop. Wait, can you play the hit again, please?
You mean this hit or that hit?
Yes.
Only the hits.
Here we go. All right, so for people just listening,
He jumps in front of it.
yeah,
I don't
he's
know
trying to get
what-
an insurance claim. So for people who are just watching,
You think
I mean,
so?
who are
You
just
think that was
listening,
an insurance
dude?
scam?
This is an insurance scam if I've ever
To
seen
me,
one.
I read it as him having
Being a
a
fucking
shocked
idiot.
reaction and like just jumping the wrong way. You know, it's like a panic.
It could be that.
So I'm gonna stick with insurance scam because I like to think the worst of people.
Nice.
So for people just listening, I guess there's a car accident on the freeway. It looks.
Yeah.
And there's a guy coming around the far side of the car, and he just decides to step out into traffic, and he basically turns into a Beyblade. Like it's
Let her rip.
like,
Oh my god.
oh my god.
Triple flip.
Can I?
900.
That's a lot of points in Tony Hawk.
Let's do it one more time.
Tony Hawk's triple fit. Well, 4.
Oh my god,
Dude, he-
bro.
'Cause look at the way
It
he
look-
does. There's like a stutter step in there.
Yeah.
To me, it seems like he's like.
He didn't commit. You know, you can't hesitate in these moments. Don't think, just do.
God.
Burke,
That's the
Don't
sound
think.
too.
just do.
That's a dull thud.
Oh God.
So did he die?
I don't.
know.
I think we're not allowed to show deaths on this, so we're gonna say
He's alive.
he's alive.
And well.
He's
Can
Yep.
we do a where are they now? Follow up.
Most of them will be dead.
He's got a garage full of cars with like doubles and triples of the cars, so he's
Triples
doing
is
great.
safe. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
let her
triples
have
is
her
safe.
way.
Tell him he's gonna be all right.
he really put that out. Oh shit.
No,
No.
nobody read that and was like, "Buddy, what in the absolute ever loving
That's what I'm
hell?"
saying.
I'd like to know what the greater context is. Like, what
Yeah.
point were you trying
Right.
to make?
I was just thinking that.
Yes, Grandma. It's soft.
Because this is
By the bank of a river, which was also a swimming pool.
at the time this wasn't something shameful, but several years ago I did listen to the audiobook of his first book, and it was not bad, and there was no stories like that. There was nothing like
you
that in
listened to
his
the wrong
first book.
audiobook.
Yeah.
Not wanting to hurt her.
What a fucking.
I
oh
dreamed
my-
I saw my maternal grandmother. Of
Also,
course.
just like, weird. Like, you could just say Grandma, buddy. Like, no one in this instance.
Nah,
gives-
dude, that's his shtick. He's like the astrology of science.
He's
of, like,
the intellectual dark web.
Keep it that way. Oh, fucking. I gotta.
I let her have her way.
I let her have her way.
That's pretty good, Nick.
let her have her way.
Told you I listened to his audiobook. I know that voice.
Got it down.
All right. Well, with that said, I think we're good for this week. I think we're
Get your benzos, bucko.
yeah, get your
Bucko.
benzos, buckos, and we'll next week. Are we here?
Yeah, we'll see. I think so.
Maybe. Well, no, I'm away.
Oh, you're away.
Okay,
So
we're
how would
gonna
we be
do
here
show,
next week?
is
know.
Liz going to be away?
Liz is gonna host Press Any Key.
Liz is
Sure.
gonna host.
Let's see it happen.
Yeah, so I've got 6 new PS5
She
controllers.
says that she wants to host it, and you
And
want to know
you know
what?
what? You're going to let her have her way.
All right. Well, with that, we'll see you next week or whatever. Thanks so much for listening.